safe and sound. You better know why. Baby, that's all I got. When we come down to we'll be dreaming safe and sound. You better know why. Baby, that's all I got. Baby, that's all I got. Is this the kind of sound that you wanna hear? Is this the kind of vibe that you wanna feel? 'Cause I'm the type of guy that you'll never fear. You could do your thing, then come near. Maybe I'm caught up in the thing that you know I like. See, we can make time, baby, overnight. Or we could make a grand escape, and we can roll high on our break. I'm all about the look that you're giving me. I'm all about the dance moves you're letting free. Well, I'm all about a sweet sound and loving spree. So listen from my melody. Yeah, maybe I'm caught up in the thing that you know I like. See, we can make time, baby, overnight. Or we could make a grand escape, and we can roll high by the way, yeah, yeah, yeah. And when we come down to we'll be dreaming safe and sound. You better know why. Baby, that's all I got. When we come down to we'll be dreaming safe and sound. You better know why. Baby, that's all I got. Baby, that's all I got. Yeah, this is the kind of sound that I wanna hear. Yeah, this is the kind of vibe that I wanna feel. And you're the type of girl, baby, you're the real. Check it one time, what's the deal? Maybe I'm caught up in the thing that you know I like. Yeah, we can make time, baby, overnight. Or we could make a grand escape, and we can roll high by the way, yeah, yeah, yeah. And when we come down to we'll be dreaming safe and sound. You better know why. Baby, that's all I got. When we come down to we'll be dreaming safe and sound. You better know why. Baby, that's all I got. Baby, that's all I got. Baby, that's all I got. We're feeling alright, yeah. We're feeling good, we're feeling alright, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, it's about that time for us to look around and meet somebody new. Well, let's all welcome in familiar faces, perhaps somebody who has a conflict in their life. Alright, tell them you're sorry, but there's ways to change the wrong to right. See, we can sit in a distant haze and watch rain clouds pour thoughts of greatness to help our troubles sail real far away. Oh yeah. Well, it's a struggle every day. We're stressing.
You ready, Jerry?
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother. Show me the money.
Oh, you didn't know?
Every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling.
You put my shoes on, you wouldn't last a mile.
wintertime, I'm on the grind. Yeah, I got the ring, I'm the champ, I'm the genie of the lamp.
This is the gift I was given, so I just live by my hustle.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
VIP me put in my pocket, it don't make sense, but don't make a profit. So I hustle, ladies and homies, make money, money.
It's hard out here for a pill. Really tryna get this money for the real.
I want to find a thing to save my life, so I hustle.
It ain't over for me. No, it ain't over for me.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Okay, let's go smoke that joint.
Are you ready? You think you can tell us what to do? You think you can tell us what to wear? You think that you're better? Well, you better get ready. Bow to the masters. Break it down! Generate is a new kind of form. Break it down.
Yeah, what up? What up?
Was that in? Hey, one time, hit that Triple H. Are you ready? Drop.
Are you ready?
I said, goddammit.
I said, are you ready?
We are officially in redraft season 4. We are 100 days away from kickoff.
Yeah.
And of course, if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. The New Age Outlaws are back.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, I just realized, bro, if we're the New Age Outlaws, I think I'm the ass man. I'm just saying, though, because you're definitely more Jesse. You're more outlaw Jesse James. I think I'm more bull rider, kick it, stick it, ass man.
Hold on. I'm trying. Here we go. Hold on.
I like to kick it. I like to stick it.
That's what it is. It's like the entire, like you have to say pause before the song kicks in.
Right? Oh, I'm an ass man.
Yeah, I'm an ass man.
I love to love 'em. I love to kick 'em. I love to shove 'em. I love to stick 'em. Love to float 'em. I love to watch 'em. I love to pick 'em. And I'm gonna kick 'em. 'Cause I'm an ass man. Yeah, I'm an ass man.
What did he say? I love to pick 'em. I love to stick 'em. Like, man, I gotta rewind it. Hold on.
Yeah, he's on there.
I love to pick 'em. Love to float 'em. I love to watch 'em. I love to pick 'em. And I'm gonna kick 'em. 'Cause I'm an ass man. Yeah, I'm an ass man.
So what does he mean when he's got to pick 'em? Got to pick that ass?
He's got to pick that thong up out his booty. You know what I mean?
Oh, man. Let's shout out the crew who's up in the chat. What up, Minnesota Marty?
What up, Marty?
Hey, stranger in the house. What up?
Who they?
Hey, what up, Trip? Uh-oh, is Trip finally on summer vacation?
He's on summer vacay.
About to get wild.
Hey, look. Hey, Trip, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Shout out to all my young dogs out there, all my big dogs, you know what I mean? You know, his balls are dropping now, bro. He's entering the great stage of puberty. I'm telling you.
What up, kid?
He's about 12 years old now. Hey, Trip, when's your birthday?
What up, Zach? Zach in the house. What up,
Zach?
And Stranger said today is 100 days. Said, how did I miss that coming? So it's 100-day countdown until the start of the NFL season. That's what the 100 days marks.
Yeah, and you know, around these parts, we always use the 100-day marker countdown as the official start of redraft season. We are still in Dynasty, off top, you know what I mean? But the focus of the content and the time, and we're at war now because now we're going to get an influx of saturation from all these bum-ass experts who come out of nowhere and start putting out content, start making all these declarations and pulling up guys super high and planting flags on motherfuckers and fucking the ADP up. It's that time of year.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yep. Like, okay, higher or lower than 4th round single QB redraft. Let's just ballpark this, right? Let's speak to the non-super flexors real quick. Higher or lower 4th round DeAndre Hopkins if he's with the Bills. Higher or lower 4th round.
I'll say even. How about that? Like even maybe a tiny bit lower. But since we're talking single QB, I mean, shit. By the 4th round, there's gonna be like 20 RBs gone. You know.
Okay. What about the Chiefs?
Same.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jets.
I don't think he's higher.
Jets lower. Jets lower. Higher. If he ends up with the Jets,
I think those 3 teams, people would be as equally as hyped.
Okay.
But anywhere else, he goes to the Ravens, like where I think he's going to go. I don't think he's going to get as hyped. He goes to, who are some other teams? Actually, those were kind of like the main 4 that we said.
Why doesn't Nuke Skywalker why doesn't he realize he might just belong with the evil emperor and the evil empire?
Man, that would be so bad for his brand and his stats, though.
Yeah, I would. If he ends up in New England, higher or lower in 4th round?
Low, hell, way lower.
There it is. Like, when are we not gonna get? What's gonna douse the hype of Nuke right now? Is what was my point, right?
Got to be a shitty team. Well, I mean, but see, like that. I mean, we're talking
about fantasy team like New England.
Chiefs, Bills, and Jets. I mean, shit, those are the teams right now that everyone's the most hyped about some as the best offenses. You know, I mean, Bengals would get sprinkled in there for sure. But, yeah, Chiefs and the Bills, I mean, everyone would be hella hyped. I mean, he might go higher just based on the hype, right? Like, he probably shouldn't. But, yeah, I mean, you're talking 4th round. What's that? Almost 50 people, 48 people. 20 wide receivers off the board, 20 running backs off the board, you know, maybe 1 or 2 QBs off the board by then. So, yeah, I think that Hopkins will go around. How about that? Above or below wide receiver 24. I think he might go a little bit above, a little bit higher than wide receiver 24.
My bad. I totally tuned out. Higher or 20 than 24?
Wide receiver 24 off the board, higher or lower. I think he could go a tiny bit higher.
Yeah, I'm with you. Okay, let's play this game. So same thing. Any of those 3 main teams right now, right? That just even if the only reason we're throwing the Jets in there is because he's talking about the Jets right now. And then before yesterday, it was Bills and Chiefs are the favorites, right? So between Bills, Chiefs, Jets, we taking Nuke or DJ Moore?
If it's the Chiefs, I'll probably take Nuke. Okay. Anybody else, I'm probably taking DJ Moore. I just think there's going to be more volume there for him, even in a low volume squad.
Being the number 1.
Yeah, because I think he's going to be like above and beyond the number 1 over Claypool and Mooney.
Okay. Marquise Brown or Nuke?
I think I want to go Nuke because of the offenses. Like, man, I mean, how many fucking...
Yeah, we're talking redraft. We're talking redraft here, so because I think that's probably the only argument for Marquise Hollywood Brown. Hit the drop.
I guess because of lack of weapons, he could flirt with 10 touchdowns. That's
Okay.
kind of definitely it.
Okay, in order, Chiefs, Bills, or Jets, right? Nuke or
Oh, hold on real quick.
Okay.
Hold on real quick. Jake came in the chat and said, "Can I get a hell yeah?"
Give me a
Hell yeah.
What up? What
I
up?
mean, while we're at it, go ahead and hit the Breakfast of Champs for Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Went to the liquor store. I loaded up with alcohol.
What?
More specifically, vodka,
What?
whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
He's so angry when he's saying that too.
The Breakfast of Champs, right? 'Cause by the time you can just picture him in the liquor store. He gets vodka. He goes the next out to whiskey. He goes the next out tequila, beer. He's just running around the liquor store. More beer, more tequila. He gets to the front of the liquor. He hits the liquor store owner, Stone Cold Stunner.
And that's the bottom line for Stone Cold Simpson.
Okay.
Oh no, there ain't no way that that's gonna happen.
Okay, so this is kind of cool. This will be the bogey temperature check. That's what we call this form of questioning, right? So we'll continue in the 100-day bogey temperature check. Nuke, in order, Chiefs, Bills, or Jets. Are we taking Nuke over Scary Terry?
Nah.
Me neither. Okay. Jahan Dotson, while we're on the Commandos. Are we putting, because I feel like that's where
Well, obviously,
I probably still would take Nuke. Just had to drop the obvious.
Okay. I was gonna say that's interesting. Okay. All right. Let's see.
I take Nuke, assuming he's with one of those three offenses.
Okay. All right. This one's kind of easy right here. I think Mike Evans or Nuke.
Still on the Mike Evans side.
Okay. And then Chris Godwin.
I got Chris Godwin head and shoulders above Mike Evans this year.
Okay. Yeah, and I probably do, take Nuke Skywalker over Mike Evans. You know what I mean?
And I guess my reasoning behind the Mike Evans is the defense. I mean, they already took a step back last year. We're talking the Bucks. I think they're going to take another step back this year. And I mean, just look at the offense, man. They're going to be throwing it a lot, and
I can agree with you. I can agree with you with the team being bad and they're going to throw a lot. I worry about that offensive line because, even Brady with his quick release, it favored the shorter A-dots because of that line can give them enough protection.
They did get some of their injured players back, though.
It's a good point because that's the one thing I do worry about Mike Evans is like he might literally be like a boomer bust receiver by definition from a week-to-week standpoint. You know what I mean? Like
that's what's crazy though. Even before this, wasn't he kind of like that?
Yeah, but then it was crazy. It's crazy because like life before Brady, he had Jameis Winston. He's getting like 150 plus targets a year. So like the poor efficiencies didn't matter. He's getting the volume. He gets with Brady.
Even then, it's still. But do you remember though? I mean, even then, even with the Winston, kind of towards the end of Winston, when I guess it's the emergence of Chris Godwin, right? Like that's when everything started changing to where Evans could be completely blanked for a game, and it didn't even matter. Their offense was
and then and that was that year with those 2 years with Arians before, or the 1 year with Arians before they went ahead and got Brady, and then they get Brady. The volume stays there and the efficiency goes up. So Mike Evans actually was like better. But then last year, that was like I feel like last year is what we should expect from a Mike Evans. Like maybe that's
he's way more of a best ball guy now than someone I really want to target in redraft.
And like also too, like it sucks when you're that big, 6'5" or 6 whatever he is, 6'5", 240. You know what I mean? Like
and you can't teach that.
You know what I mean? You just, you know what I'm saying? Like the hamstrings and the lower extremity injuries that they're starting to pile up for Mike Evans, even before Brady. So, there's other reasons. But then, you can make a lot of those same arguments for Nuke, as far as the age and whatnot. But
hell yeah, because Mike Evans is about to turn 30. I mean, Nuke's about to turn what, 31?
31.
Yeah.
Or if he's not already 31. Oh, yeah, but so, okay. Maybe I'll revisit that, but maybe you might got something with the Mike Evans over Nuke, and maybe
his birthday is next week. Nuke, June 6th,
and he's turned 32.
31.
Okay, all right.
And they're a year apart.
Okay. And for the record, I think Nuke could take Mike Evans. You know what I mean?
I don't think I'm gonna have Nuke anywhere. Like I don't think I'm gonna be targeting him necessarily because the hype is probably gonna like shoot him through the roof. And even in Dynasty, if he goes to one of those 3 teams, I'm probably trying to move him.
Yes. Like I mean, there's not really. I mean, I was trying to think of some other players. Like I'd probably take. I mean, like even like I'll probably take Nuke over Mike Pittman. You know what I mean? Like there's probably like the range where, you know what I mean? I'm not taking him.
I don't want Mike Pittman at all.
You know, maybe I could make a case over Nuke over Brandon Ayuk, but then even then, that's like I think that maybe that's the range he belongs. You know what I mean for redraft, like in that area, like you know, just what do we think Nuke could be in those offenses? Like 1,000 yards, you know, a handful of touchdowns. Is that doable? 60 catches.
Well, I mean, because look at the offenses that you're talking about, right? I mean, shit, the Bills and the Chiefs, they can support 2,000-yard receivers, like for sure.
Yeah, they can support multiple. I think Patrick Mahomes last year had a bunch of like you know guys that were almost scraping a thou too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think Mahomes moving it around so long. I mean, so easily, you know, moving it around. I mean, Kelsey's going to get his no matter what, but I mean, if he's going to be in the 45 to 5,000 range, like, yeah, I mean, a guy like Nuke, I think he'll get I mean, if he was with the Chiefs, I think he would get a nice percentage either way, 15 to 20% of the target. Maybe he doesn't scrape 20, but maybe it's like really, really close.
If you told me like 18 to 20%, I think that's doable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, because then I'm about that. For the Chiefs, it's like what's 20% of like, you know, 45 pass attempts a game, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That if we can get that from Patrick Mahomes to a Nuke, then man, it's like I think getting them in that top 24 range is still value. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then like, and you know that's the thing too. Is like, you know, can we? I mean, what was Juju? What was Juju's targets? How about that? Let's look at Juju's targets last year, and his, and then let's look at Patrick Mahomes' pass attempts because I feel like that, you know, that the Chiefs are really interesting because there's a chunk of a target market share that's missing. So that's why I'm trying to figure out what was Juju's target market share.
I feel like it. I mean, let's see.
I think
he had 100. So he had 101 targets.
Okay, so out of how many pass attempts for Mahomes? Mahomes probably had like 600 something.
648.
648.
Yeah, so let's see what that equates to.
Yeah, let's see.
Let's round it up to 16%.
16%. Okay, so
I mean, I said 15 to 20. You know, I mean, you said 18 to 20. I mean, 16 isn't far off either way from, you know.
That's not bad. That's. I mean, he's a flex.
Yeah.
Yeah, like and that's a flex with some touchdown upside. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because really I mean, and Juju had 933. I mean, it was 3 touchdowns. You know, like that's the thing that really sucked for him. I mean, there was no touchdowns.
Yeah, he wasn't. He was a factor in the red zone.
He was a flex, and he was a potential starter in those 3. I mean, if you had 3 wide receiver, you know, leagues for like a couple weeks. I mean, it wasn't like the whole season, but there was a sport where, like you said, he wasn't getting.
It was a big chunk. It was a big chunk. It was like an 6 or 8 game stretch where he had no less than 8 targets a game. That was awesome. You know what I mean?
Couldn't throw down any touchdowns though.
Yeah.
I mean,
but he had a lower. And I think because see why people love Nuke is he was getting the elite target market share in Houston and in Arizona. We're talking 30% of the target market share, right?
What up, Chase? What up, Bakes?
So I think this is good right here. I think this is good right here. This puts things in perspective for me personally because we all know and love Nuke for being the yards guy, the receptions, you know, barely any drops, double-digit touchdowns. But it was because he's getting a 30% target market share. There's a lot to compensate. Plus, he was very efficient, barely any drops in his career.
He's not a 30 mil wide receiver anymore. Like a year,
no.
He's not going to be that guy ever.
So
I mean, last year, I didn't even like a lot of people are hyped on him last year, and like that's kind of the only thing that you can lean on right now with his game is getting, the 30%. Because, like,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's not dropping the ball out there, but yeah, you can tell he's lost a step. He's not the guy that he was a couple years ago. I mean, the injuries plagued him a little bit.
I think like if he like he's not like a blocking guy. He's an X receiver. So it's like here's my thing from a football standpoint. If he was to go to the Jets, he would be the X receiver. This is like the Devontae Adams. This is the possession guy, right? That's the guy that would be that role in Nathaniel Hackett's offense. And then Garrett Wilson, he would be the Z. You know what I mean? The guy was just almost always hitting that 9 route or that go route. He's stretching the field. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like that's why I don't want Nuke to the Jets, because Garrett Wilson is the guy that's going to take a hit no matter what anyone thinks. You know what I mean? Like,
because he goes to the Chiefs, he's not affecting Kelsey, and I think
No.
even if he goes to the Bills, I don't think he would affect Diggs like that much.
no,
It might
I
be
think that's I'm still going to go back to it. That's my favorite spot for him to land for fantasy, because they throw close to 60% of the time, and like you could have a 25% market share guys. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you
because
could,
they got
you could have 2 guys that have the concentrated target market share. Maybe the red zone targets are spread around a little more, or you got to run the risk of Josh Allen running it in himself when he's down there in the red zone. Either way, like, they're a throwing ass team, so I want him there, because then it's like, okay, then it's like he's, like you said, if he's getting 15% of the target market share with the Chiefs, he's a flex. He's a WR2.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If he's with the Bills and with some WR1 high upside finishes on a week-to-week basis. You know what I mean?
Here goes one. So Jake said Hopkins to Detroit sounds more and more like.
I mean, remember that was my joint last when they first released him. That was my pick, because they had the most money. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
sure.
And like all their moves in the offseason, and like just the attitude that I get from Detroit is that they want to win now. Biting kneecaps off, and you know what I mean. They're making their own teammates cry, and they're like, "Oh, you cry? Get out of here, Jamal Williams. Bring it. He doesn't shed no tears." You know what I mean? And
Now's
like
the
they have
time, man. Like, now is the easiest time for the NFC North since fucking before Brett Favre. Like,
And I know
that's what's insane.
And I know people might be like, "Why would he go there? It's not a place where he can get a ring, but it's a place that he could win a division and get one step closer to getting a ring like that." Detroit is in that conversation.
I mean, just like Bake said, after the Williams suspension, I mean, it would be getting there in the beginning, padding stats, and I mean, he would have to. Detroit is like padding your stats, trying to get the next contract. Not.
Okay, watch this. How many pass attempts did Jared Goff have last year? Let's look at his last 3 seasons, because this is how long he's been with Dan Campbell, and I almost guarantee they either stay in the same range or they've been going up every year.
No, well, I guess it's because of him getting hurt, though.
Oh, okay. We'll scratch that year.
Yeah, so
I forgot. In 20, he got hurt in 21.
Yeah, so in 2020, 552. No. Yeah, but he's only been with Detroit the last 2 years, I guess. So.
Well, no, with Campbell and him. So it's been 21 and 22. You're right. Okay, so let's just look at last year then.
494 to 587, but he missed 3 games. So that, I don't know. It seems like 494, that might be a higher average, but let me see.
I mean, even if he missed 3 games and he went for 558, so we're talking about like 30 plus pass attempts a game. So maybe let's say 4.
He went down by 1 attempt per game, but that's it. So I mean,
okay, but because he missed the games.
Well, I'm just no. That's the average, though.
The average, okay.
On average, 35 to 34.
Okay, so maybe for fantasy, Nuke, it will be great for him in the beginning, him and St. Brown. But when you have all 3 of them, it's almost like Jared Goff is the better piece to have. You know what I mean? Like.
I mean, I guess it's crazy how nuts we're.
But you know what though, Jameson Williams could come back and legit be like the third fiddle. Like, you know what I mean? He's missing a chunk of time, and he barely even been on the field with Jared Goff to begin with. Actually, I do like Detroit. I wouldn't give a fuck about Jameson Williams when he comes back. Like I think going back to my initial argument, I think like instead of having Jameson Williams, I'd probably just rather have Jared Goff. You know what I mean? It's like, but yeah, if Nuke goes there, and I think like the stink on Detroit won't push up Nuke high in his ADP. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess what's really crazy about this is like we're going nuts for Goff, and like he didn't even do better than he was doing like with the Rams, like in this past year. Like I mean, I know,
but he was a Q. But the thing is that he returned to his QB1 status. He's never been a top, 5 guy. I think he's been 6 overall at one point. Actually, I'm lying. He might have been a top 5 finish like 2018, or you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because I was sitting at 4,600. I mean,
yeah.
Even then though, 4,600 yards. He had like 3 more TDs that year. I mean, it was only 200 more yards and 300.
But he had weaponry. That year he had the trio of what was it? Woods, Cooks, and Cup. So you know what I mean. If he got weaponry, he could sling it. That's my point, right? If you give him Nuke, I was already on board with Jared Goff this year.
I guess it's these rise and falls though. Like it's not like he's ever like.
I mean, he's very golful. That's why he's golful, though. He's not the epitome of efficiency.
He's not being drafted like Jared Goffel now anymore. He's being drafted as top 12 fucking QB.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at his, I mean, obviously.
If he gets Nuke, is it warranted?
Yeah. And Jake said he had St. Brown and Reynolds once. Hawkinson left. Yeah. Still made. I mean, he was never really targeting Hawkinson that much. I mean, I guess what makes me nervous is
Brock Wright.
It's the draft capital. That's really what it is. Because where we got to draft Jared Goff, and like, I guess I thought he did better last year than he really did. But I guess when Jamal Williams snakes like that many touchdowns,
when Jamal Williams is crying that much,
yeah. Because how many touchdowns Williams have?
If he's crying, you're probably winning. Cries more when he wins.
So does he though? Because he was crying a lot when they lost. That hit us! That 3-win team, that hit us!
I'm just saying though, when he wins though, he's crying even more. It's the silent cry.
The tears of joy are better than the tears of regret.
You should be crying, no sounds coming out. But we dogs though. Don't get it twisted though.
Still dog in this though.
Don't get it twisted. We dogs.
Yeah, every time I see Jamal Williams cry, it just reminds me of Eddie Murphy when he was doing Delirious, making fun of Michael Jackson. That shit.
You don't want to fuck with Mike though, bro. No, not bad, Mike. I'm black, I'm white. You know what I mean? That Mike, you can fuck with that Mike, but you can't fuck with I'm bad, Mike. You know what I mean?
He was trying to tackle racism. Like, man, that was tough.
I know he was trying to tackle his own identity issues. That's what he was trying to tackle. He was like, am I black? Am I white? Am I human? Am I Peter Pan? And he just didn't know, bro.
And Chase said, is Laporta on your radar at all? Not for redraft season. For Dynasty, for sure. I don't know about the startups. People might be taking him a little bit too early for me. But in the rookie drafts, he was going like 2nd to 4th round, just kind of depending. I mean, he had a wide range of ADP value. But yeah, for redraft, I'm not messing with any rookie tight ends for redraft.
Yeah.
Because if you're hyped on him, someone else is way, way, way more hyped on him. And I don't know, it's just too much.
Yeah, I mean, the rookie tight end list the list of rookie tight ends that produce for us in fantasy is a very short list. Not everybody's Gronk. Not everybody's George Kittle. Not everybody's Evan Ingram, oddly enough, but even Evan Ingram, I could break down that year. There was no Sterling Shepard, no OBJ.
And even Pitts, he had 1,000 yards, but he only got 1 touchdown. That shit was whack.
He had one, but it wasn't on American soil.
Yeah, I said one. That's but
but that one doesn't count. It wasn't on American soil.
Yeah, but 1,000 yards. If you play 17 games and you crack 1,000, that's 58 yards a game. It's fucking nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
17 games, a lot different now than when it was 16.
So we can find a streaming tight end.
Yeah, and you look at like Hawkinson. If anybody wants to try to bring up Hawkinson, I know he had a couple good games as a rookie, and then he got hurt.
How about this? Last year, there's motherfuckers taking Greg Dulcich in redraft. There's motherfuckers taking Trey McBride. How did that work out? You know what I mean? Yeah. Tight ends as rookies just don't really be handling. You know what I'm saying? Cole Kmet, he's starting to flash now, right? How long has he been in the league? It's gonna be season 5 now.
5 years.
He's going into number 5.
He was so fucking hyped coming out of college too.
Greg Olsen. Remember, Greg Olsen was one of the baddest motherfuckers at the tight end position, right? How long did it take him to come on? 13.
A while.
13. Like yeah. I think the third was Panthers his third team, or was that his second?
Like Panthers were his second team.
Okay, because he was with like what the Bears.
He was with, the Bears for a long ass time.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm pretty sure that's where he was drafted. Yeah, see, he wrote out his first contract with the Bears, and then he was with Carolina.
When was he drafted?
2007.
Oh shit, bro!
It was the first rounder too. I guess
was that Mike Shanahan there? Still? Oh no, not Mike Shanahan. I was thinking Denver. Yeah, Chicago. Oh, okay. Was that Lovie Smith then?
Yeah, definitely was Lovie Smith. Nice, that was the year after the Super Bowl. He got there 1 year after the Super Bowl loss. And yeah, Greg Olsen was from the U. He was killing it, man. Like the U always fucking throws out some dope tight ends. But yeah, it took him years to like, especially for fantasy too, like being on our radar where he's drafted as like a top 5 tight end. That took a long ass.
And nobody better be like Chigba or what's his name from the Titans. He's a sophomore now.
Yeah.
Like you can't even tell me that, dude. You can't tell me that, dude, because it was like everybody was hurt. He came up. He's all of a sudden he's the only guy in town. Fucking Traylon Burks is out. Robert Woods is blocking. You know what I mean?
It was a couple weeks, like where he had like I don't know, maybe like maybe it was like a 4-week or 5-week stretch where he had all three of his touchdowns were there, so people were hella hyped on him because we talk about it. If you score a touchdown as a tight end, like there's a really good chance that you're a tight end one on the week, like on really good chance.
Yeah, and when you know, it's tight ends suck. Let's just you know what I mean. Call what it is, right?
And look here, I pulled up Greg Olsen's shit. He didn't crack 1,000 yards until 2014. He came in 2007.
Come on, and not everybody's Kelsey, right? Where it's like Kelsey didn't pop off his rookie year, but once he got going. What, 5 years into it? 4 years into it? That's
what I'm saying. I mean, Travis Kelce is the same thing. Like, look at that. I mean, it took like 3 years. I think for him to like really be
popping. When did he get drafted? 2013.
Yeah,
and he was flashing every year, you know, but he would get hurt. But that time he got to 2017, it was on and popping from then on.
800 yards and 5 touchdowns. That was where he was at in
2016.
Sophomore and junior year.
Okay.
But see that's nothing exciting for a tight end. Like that's like, you know, like
hey, but it is though, when because you got him late, tight ends are so poor. Like, you know what I mean? Like during those years, we're still talking about Jimmy Graham, we're still talking about Gronk, we're still talking about, you know, Antonio Gates was still in the mix, you know what I mean? Even Gonzalez was still playing. Like, you know what I mean? Like this he was right underneath this blanket of fucking, you know, Jason Witten was still in the game. Like, you know, these guys were like
Gates.
Antonio, I said Gates. And then even Jordan Reed. Remember Jordan Reed was young too, same time as Kelsey, but he was the guy like super hype on him, right?
Yeah.
Because he wasn't no blocker. He was just out there running routes, like 100% of dropbacks. He was running a route. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't really find you really gotta find these guys.
But see, you know what's crazy is like
that are in a system
if you listen to Kelsey though, like because he talks about his sophomore year. I mean, he gets hurt in his rookie year, so you know, I mean, there's nothing there. But just mentally, he wasn't blocking well. Like he's getting handled by linebackers that are bigger than him. His safeties are able to cover him. He legit said that he didn't know if he was going to get a second contract in the NFL after his sophomore season. Like he felt like his year was so bad. But then he said he started working with a lot of these veteran tight ends and started learning a lot of fucking techniques and shit. Like Just a lot of different techniques when it comes to route running, comes to chip blocking, and all that kind of shit.
He met up with he probably met up with Tony Gonzalez and he said, Tony, I am your muse. Tell me, how do I get better? He said, motherfucker, you bigger than everybody. He said, what's wrong with you? You bigger than everybody.
The thing that's
drop.
The thing that's kind of dope about Kelsey and Kittle is they're not being gatekeepers with their shit. Like apparently
They have the tight end university.
Yeah, every single summer they got tight end university, and it's crazy because they were big beefing up Knox last year. They were like, we see like significant jumps from him from year whatever it was until last year,
and then it sucks when he fractured his hand early. Remember that?
Yeah,
fractured his hand early.
A whole bunch of things.
Yeah, exactly. Like they Buffalo low key was one of those teams that they were riddled with injuries. We people just don't really notice it because we had a basically fully healthy Diggs and Gabe Davis most of the season. Didn't really work out though. You know what I mean? So
when Josh Allen got hurt, fucking changed everything.
Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, you get hurt on your throwing elbow. You know what I'm saying? And then now they talking about they want him to throw more.
Mm-hmm.
They talking about they don't want him to run the call zone number like that because
getting hurt, man. Like shit.
Yeah, and like, but see, that's why I'm circling back to the nuke thing. Like, if he gets there, I'm all about it because it's like, you know what I mean? They already throw a ton. They could very well be the team that leads the league in pass attempts this year. Like, you know
what it is. It's the guys who play in like the old school like format of like 25 yards per pass and all that shit. So when you're running QB, it's like significantly larger, of a gap with those rushing yards.
Yeah, because the shorter ADOTs are gone. They're replaced by rush attempts.
But with ours, where it's 15 yards, we're not even missing that much, on his rushing yards to passing yards. Like, I'd rather him flirt with 5,000 passing yards.
He goes
through Chase. He said, I noticed people are all over Kincaid, and that seems risky. Of course, because it's a rookie tight end.
I mean, we just went through like a list of rookies that blew up as a tight end. It's very small. It's like, you know what I mean? And like, even if we're just saying 1,000 yards is the marker for a rookie tight end, like we barely seen that. So, you know what I mean? Someone like a Kincaid, I think his ceiling is like a Dawson Knox 2021 season where he's getting like 500 yards and maybe 9 to 12 touchdowns, because that's what Kincaid is going to be. He's going to be perfect. He's gonna be perfect for fantasy because he's tight end. He's like boomer bust tight end, like most of the tight ends. Yeah. So.
Logically, it should be Knox blocking, and it should be Kincaid like out there in, just out there running routes like all the time. But man, like, are they really gonna do that? Like, I mean, we talk about guys like Kyle Pitts. Like, why even make him block? Like they didn't really throw him out there as a wide receiver, like as much as we thought. Off the line. So I don't know.
I mean, would they run 12 personnels, their base package more? I mean, because I know they've in the past since 2020, they're always at the top of the league in 4 and 5 wide receiver sets.
Hey,
so it's like we're gonna.
What up, dude?
What it do?
He said I heard Jimmy G failed his physical due to syphilis.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like, hey, Jimmy's dick is a Raider, bruh. Right when he came to Vegas, his dick became a Raider, bro, and now he got all kind of things wrong with his leg, his third leg. He got an eye patch on his dick hole. Raiders.
Bakeslaw said I could see Kincaid doing better than Freiermuth or Pitts their rookie year simply because of draft capital, team construction, opportunity.
Well, okay, hold on. He said because draft capital. Hold on. He said because of draft capital. Kyle Pitts is the highest tight end drafted ever.
Yeah, and the thing with Pitts, he was the only one there. Like, there was nobody else like there. Like, they didn't have anyone close to Diggs' stature.
And people should be excited for Pitts this year because he's not overhyped. He's like the king post hype right now because he's still a tight end, so he's still gonna go fairly high. But because of the stank on him. You know what I'm saying? We're getting him at a value, and they're saying like, they're hoping he's ready for training camp. There's all kind of things that's going to push him down. I'll take Pitts. Pitts is basically I mean, until London takes that real next step, right now on paper, he's the number one option on that team. Kyle Pitts. You know what I mean? This year's
Bijan only helps a Pitts.
Yeah, and like now London, who's a true X receiver, you're gonna have number one coverage being dedicated to him now. Because last year and the year before that, there's a lot of times you see the number one corner will go man up on fucking wherever Pitts is at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's
also said I took that Kincaid at 112 in the Dynasty Superflex, wishing I waited on Laporta. I'm not mad at that. I took him right now at the 111, 112, and like a couple. It's just because of who's there at that point. So
you're either in that range. It's like Josh Downs. It's like Tank Bigsby and a Killer Miller,
wide receivers.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Like I always
tight end, or you get the second wave of like third wave of running backs almost, and second wave of wide receivers. So I'm with.
And I like in dynasty startups when all those fails, I'll take those running backs because like they'll get the way running backs are so volatile. Like I'm taking Chase Browns and Killer Miller and Zach Evans. Like I'm okay in that early second round range, you know what I'm saying? Like, so 112 for Kincaid, I would have done that. What's wrong with that? You know what I mean? You just don't expect the result. Like, if you don't have a high expectation that he's a guy you can plug in confidently this year, if he becomes that, you're pleasantly surprised. You know what I mean? I think that's what people's mistake is all the time when they get hype on young players that are unproven players, is that like we let what we're projecting them in our mind cloud our better judgment. You know what I mean? Because it's better. Like it would have been foolish if I really like Kincaid. I took him at the 1.5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I would be like, that's stupid. You know what I mean? Like you took
unless
best player available.
Unless it's a tight end premium, you have a tight end like you're hurting that much. Like it would have to be a team specific reason for me not to be on that pick.
Otherwise, if I'm going to generalize it, what was that? Peacock?
What
was that? Peacock?
No, I don't think so.
Oh
no, this is Office who said this.
Oh, I'm tripping.
And Marty said, I'm worried about Laporta. Lions didn't use Hawkinson right. Yeah, for sure. And Jared Goff's never been someone who like force feeds the tight end. So I mean, that's just I'm not hella hyped on Laporta.
What you got to worry. There's two reasons why I think they traded Hawkinson. One, it was the old regime that drafted him. It's probably foolish for them to draft him. They shined him up as much as they could so they could trade him. And it was so bad, I bet you, the market for him, that they had to trade him within division. That's got to show you something, right?
Jake said too many mouths to feed in Buffalo, especially if they get Hopkins. I don't agree with that.
No.
I mean, it's Diggs because, like, what does Knox
too many mouths to feed? Who eats outside of Diggs?
Yeah, Knox isn't going to warrant a high target market value or
how many
share.
pass attempts did Josh Allen have last year? Let's look at that because I like it when people don't know numbers, and because numbers support people's claims. All the numbers we're about to look at right now don't support that guy's claim right there. You know what I mean?
567 attempts.
567. You know what I'm saying? And so he's
down from the year before, missed a game.
Down from the year before. So and I would relate that to the injury. See if you look at the rush attempts total as a team versus their pass attempts, they're closer. They're about 60% of the time passing the ball. You know what I mean? You get Nuke over there and a healthy Josh Allen. Look at that. Before Josh Allen got injured last year, he was in that he was threatening the QB1 in fantasy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was pacing. You know what I'm saying? And when did he get hurt? Week 10. Like you can almost pinpoint it where it was like he was going from like putting up the 30 burgers and up in our format to like putting up dub. You know what I mean? That's not good in our format. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, there's going to be enough pass attempts, and there's really no other options. We're looking at a concentrated target market share between two guys. Diggs garners about a 30% target market share in that offense. If he drops down to 25, I'm not mad at that. You know what I mean?
I mean, Diggs got 174 targets. I mean, his target market share was through the roof. But then you look, Gabe Davis, he barely scratched 105. Dawson Knox, 77. Isaiah McKenzie, 69.
69, dude.
And then Khalil Shakir's the next with 27.
See,
so really only four guys.
Tell me, if they get Nuke, fuck Gabe Davis, fuck what's his name, 69, Crowder. I mean, he's not even there anymore.
Yeah.
Fuck Dawson Knox. You know, Kincaid hurts him more than anything. I mean, he's gonna be the number 2. What on an offense they didn't have a number 2.
Everybody from this would lose targets, but shit. I mean, 174 targets for Diggs. I mean, he can lose a chunk of that, and still that's why, top couple in the league with like target market.
I mean, bro, he could have Nuke and Diggs, and they both get 150 plus targets. That's easy, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like Josh Allen throwing them the ball. It's not. But okay. If Nuke didn't get cut and he was with Arizona, he would get a 30% target market share, and it'd be shitty. You know what I mean?
Jake said that he was saying that for the Kincaid argument. So yeah, I mean, sure.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. I thought you were talking about Nuke. Oh no, he was talking about Kincaid.
Well, it was when if Nuke came over there. Yeah, too many mouths to feed. Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah, no, it would be too
either way though. I don't think Kincaid's going over 60 targets. I really don't think he's going over 60 targets year 1.
And I bet you, like, when it's all said and done this year, you look at his like 40 to 60 targets, and like, I bet you 20% of those targets came in the red zone, like, or a third down. Like, that's what Kincaid will be. He's a big monster-sized guy. Like, it's just a mismatch. You know what I mean? I'll argue that for Nuke though. Nuke, even in this day and age, like, you get Nuke in the slot, this is ridiculous, bro. Or like, you know what I mean? Just moving him around and moving him and Diggs around on the formation. Imagine you got him and Diggs on one side.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know what I'm saying? You got, I mean, there's so many. It's a game changer if you get Nuke to Buffalo for every aspect. Reality, fantasy, like I'm about it. But
what about the discounted Mike Williams, aka Gabe Davis? I mean, if anyone's still on Gabe Davis right now, like I just don't know what to tell you. Like I'll
take Mike Williams over Gabe Davis.
Yeah,
if that's the question.
I just want no part of Gabe Davis.
I'll take Gabe Davis, dummy late.
I mean, I got him in best ball. That's kind of the only place that I want him. I don't want
to. The only reason I say that too is because I played a lot of deeper leagues, and also like he's just the type of guy like you got any injuries for that type of motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like this time last year, everyone would have been like Gabe Davis. Fuck yeah, you know what I mean? Now this year, I'm like Van Jefferson or Gabe Davis. You know what I mean? And I think like Van Jefferson actually has like a clear shot to getting a bigger target market. So, like who's a clear WR4? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? That's their range right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
DJ Chark and them type of shit.
That's a good one. Jake said Buffalo because he's afraid it doesn't snow in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Said, my thing was value, waiting for 208 Laporta or taking Kincaid at a 112, rather than a dart throw RB. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess who are your options there? It probably wasn't going to be one of the top couple.
I mean, if you consider it best player available, then you did it right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, when all else fails, you know what I'm saying? If I don't need a tight end or I don't need that, I'll probably take. When I need running back, I'm always take those backups because, man, these like you got to look at rookie running backs sometimes, but it don't matter about their draft capital. You know what I'm saying? A circa Isaiah Pacheco last year or Damian Pierce, like, you know what I'm saying? I made the argument for Michael Carter a couple years ago when he was the only guy there. He was a 4th rounder, but you know it was his job to acquire, right? You know what I mean? Like when you have like Killer Miller, I think he has a 3rd round draft capital on him. You know what I mean? And he's at minimum the number 2. There's no Mark Ingram there. So it'd be him and Kamara, and that's a lot of that's a team that want to run the ball and play defense, and they got a great game manager with Derek Carr. He'll check down you know what I mean. I like a Killer Miller for redraft.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I'll you know what usually happens is like Huss says, someone else will draft him, and you end up picking up this guy on a waiver, or I'll be the guy like or I'll you know what I mean. I'll draft him, or like say I get a Kamara. I'll take Killer Miller later. You know what I mean? And then that's one of those instances where I'll hold Miller until you know what I mean? Because hey, if you're drafting right now, we don't know what could happen. Something could happen with Kamara out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? Zach, if I have Cam Akers who goes fairly late, right? I'll take Zach Evans later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm that type though. You know, that's what's different between me and Huss is Huss is not really gonna clog his bench up with all that bullshit. I'm a pussy. You know what I mean? But if I have running backs, specifically though, I'm not like, oh, I have Diggs, I gotta get Gabe Davis, bro. Like, you know what I mean? No, for running backs specifically, like I'm okay with, especially when they're rookies that are, you know, incumbent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you know, there's an argument to be made for Cam Akers. Hey, bro, he finished strong. If they give him all the work, you know, fuck yeah. But then, you know, you start nitpicking. Hey, they don't really target him. Hey, you can even say, hey, they drafted another guy. Oh, but, you know, he's a 5th rounder. And no fucking matter. They drafted a guy and they barely had like 5 picks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the draft. So the fact that they used one of them on a running back and there's no one behind Cam Akers, and this guy's basically, you know, 210, 5'11", not far from a Cam Akers. You know what I mean? Like there's an issue here for me with Cam Akers. Like, so if I have Cam Akers who goes at a value, I still want Zach Evans. You know what I mean? Because who knows by week 4, if, you know, Cam Akers ain't handling it and they start going with the kid. You see this happen all the time. You know what I mean? And then, you know how we do. We watch the snap counts every week. You know, for y'all that rock with us daily, y'all know that that's how we rock. Looking at the snap counts. You know what I mean? Remember Dameon Pierce? When Dameon Pierce in the beginning of the year, he wasn't producing. But we're like, hold on, everybody. Just hold on don't get your panties in a bunch, because he was getting 65% of the backfield. You know what I mean? And then it was like, you know, eventually that's going to translate. You know what I mean? And it did. Granted, he got hurt. And then, you know what I'm saying? The rest is history. But, you know what I'm saying? Like this, you know what I'm saying? Like running backs, they're, you know, especially when you have a guy who's getting that type of workload in front of, and you're waiting on this guy like Cordell Patterson or Rashad Penny or whatever. We're waiting on these, like, you know what I'm saying? I was holding on to Tyler Algier. I was holding on to Ken Walker. Like, look, fuck those other guys. They're going to get hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it just is what it is.
Hell yeah.
And then Tyler Algier, one of those guys that ran to the waiver wires again. You know what I mean? Ken Walker, you know, so there were some guys that couldn't wait, and they ended up releasing him by week 5, and then that was the week. Like, oh, you fucked up. You know how many people came in the comments that week, remember? I fucked up. I cut Ken Walker last week. And then it was like, for who? For what? Kicker. And like, you know what I mean? Like, too bad. You know what I'm saying? Like,
man,
that happens. Like, you know what I mean?
We're going to have like a dope panic section.
Like, you know what would have been dope? If fucking Arizona had drafted a running back. Because then I would have been all about that running back late. Like, yeah, because James Conner's one of those guys. He's a ticking time bomb. How long till James Conner blows up?
Yeah.
And dies. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not Eric Gray in Dynasty. Eric Gray is hella interesting because it's like Saquon. He only has this year, so he could be gone next year. And here comes a 3-down skill set running back that has the opportunity. Or, you know, you have Saquon, his injury history could pop back up again from out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, last year was one of the first healthy years we saw since his rookie year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The only healthy year, full season we saw since his rookie year.
Man, and I totally forgot. Okay. What the fuck is this person? The Podfather? Do you know the Podfather?
Oh, that guy's so trash. The fucking
this motherfucker.
Matt Perry or Matt. He only, real quick, before you say what you're gonna say, I came across this guy in about 2015, 16-ish, and this dude, and I even downloaded that app that one year that he was promoting. It's called the Player Profiler.
Yeah.
And this, I'm gonna tell you an example. This is how I knew this was full of shit. I knew it right away. Because first of all, he doesn't watch any games, doesn't watch any film. He's very adamant about this. He's only numbers. So when he does his player profiling, it's like explosive rating. What else? He's like explosive rating, spark rating. Like, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? His college spark rating, his college translation to the league, player profiler is Terrell Owens. This is a real thing, right? He said, and I'm like, oh, Terrell Owens, okay. You know who the player was?
Who?
Corey Davis.
Oh my gosh.
Get the fuck out of here.
Well, this guy's a douchebag who should be canceled.
This
he
guy
said
sucks.
Antonio.
Like, the
said
Podfather sucks a lot of dick.
He said Antonio Gibson is James Conner without the cancer.
I mean, this is the stupidest thing to say, but it makes sense. It's coming from a guy who don't watch the games. He doesn't watch film. He only is stat driven. Like, okay, then there's a guy like a really awesome guy, and I highly recommend this guy. His name is Brett Coleman, right? And he used to work for ESPN. He was a coach in some capacity, but he's a young dude. But now he just does these extravagant film breakdowns. His name is Brett Coleman, and his channel is called NFL Film Room. And he's not monetized because he's greenlit for fucking to use the actual, like, you know, he uses the all 22.
Okay.
Super legit though, bro.
Yeah.
Super legit. Millions of subs. Fucking this guy, fucking the best. And he's all film. He's all film, right?
Can I
And
suggest
then there's the Podfather. So there's these two extremes, and I'm always gonna side on the guy who watches the film, bro. You know what I mean? Because those numbers, I love numbers to support what I'm trying, whatever, you know, case I'm trying to make. You know what I'm saying? Because numbers don't lie. But like this guy, like I remember Derrick Henry for that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like early on, you would be able to find skews in the numbers, right? Like he you know, like there was a on Sharp. I used to fuck with Warren Sharp, Sharp Stats, I think it was called back in the days. And like he had some shit called true yards per carry. So it's like you take away those big runs, and then, like, you know what I'm saying, he used to average like a big 50-yard run, right? You take those away, his true yards per carry were like less than 4 yards, like 3.8, 3.5. That's not any good at all. But like he's gonna bust one. See, and so this guy, so he would always be championing Derrick Henry, the number one overall.
Smoke it up.
You know what I mean? What up, D-Mo? It was just, you know, okay, so okay, why are we shitting on him though? What is his proclamation again?
No, that was it. He says that Antonio Gibson is James Conner without the cancer. Like, what a stupid ass fucking thing to say. And Bake said that, he said, man, fuck that guy. He said, always argued with the chat when they called him out on his bullshit. He said, I unsubscribed a couple days ago after watching him. Yeah, and I've never, like, I've never.
And he literally, you know, it's funny. It was actually Candlestick. So you ever heard of this fucking Podfather guy? This is like back in the days, bro. And I was like, let me check this dude out. And then, like, I was like, oh, the player profile, I heard of that. Because, you know what I'm saying? You hear these other analysts, they would attach themselves to these little apps, and then they promote, you know, they would be sponsored by them. You know what I mean? So there was a wave during that time of analysts that were sponsored by Player Profiler. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stupid. It's the stupidest shit ever. They make these, I don't know what their algorithm is, obviously, but like their player comparisons are so like, okay.
Yeah, and Bake said
Kerryon Johnson, his player profiler was Shady McCoy. No, he's not Shady McCoy.
Well, it's because they're only basing it off the
injuries, maybe because he gets hurt. He gets soft tissue injuries. Oh yeah, he's like Shady.
Bake said, just like Nick when he threw a tantrum on BDGE after I called him a baby back bitch for getting mad at the chat. I mean, these guys just feel too entitled because you know that these guys like were fucking nerds. Like, you know that they had like no friends. And
like, okay, Nick used to use Player Profiler. Goes to show what he knows. He'd be like, yeah, I really like okay, you can get anybody to read a stat, and you'll sound like you know what you're talking about. Oh, he averaged 9 yards per. You start using things like A dot. Sounds fancy. Oh yeah, his A dot, and then you start to, what is that? And then, you know what I mean? Oh, the average depth of target. Oh, that guy knows what he's talking about. Advanced analytics. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I mean, we read stats, but I mean, you know, it's really about watching the games, watching the trends, like knowing the defenses, like knowing.
What's a good burger joint? What's like a good burger joint that's not like a chain?
A good burger joint that's not a chain?
Yeah, like you know that you know personally that you go to, like, you know what I mean. It's not
Canada Steak Burger in San Diego.
Okay, right, and then there's McDonald's. Everybody, you know, people that be like, oh, everybody knows McDonald's, bro. You know what I mean? But you be like, nah, bro. But then there's, you know, that Canada State, whatever you said, right? Like, listen, I'm telling you, I'll put this burger up against any McDonald's burger ever, bro. Fuck that. I'll put McDonald's burger got the most sales, bro. You know what I mean? Like, oh, BDG got the most subs, bro. Listen, but their burgers are fucking trash. And then I like to think of something like us, who we're homegrown, and we might be able to become like a chain, and we got the best of both worlds. We could be In-N-Out Burger, bro.
Hell yeah.
We could be In-N-Out Burger.
Hell
people that haven't had it, they heard of it. Oh shit, I heard that shit is fire. I need to check that shit out. That's us, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, Eminem. There's some people, I think Eminem's dope. You know what I'm saying? He might even be in my top 10, at least. He's not in my top 5, personally.
At least was, because once I mean the first 3 I'll fuck with. And then
I think as I grew older, I grew out of. He didn't age well with me when as my taste changed in music. But like, people argue Eminem, why? Because he sold the most.
Yeah,
that's the white people's argument for him. That's why they champion. Bro, he sold the most. He's the highest seller, bro. Then rap.
Yeah,
he's the best champion. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? That's the argument.
Because the person who really sold the most ever, you know, I mean, that's rap. But yeah, Michael Jackson, like nobody's fucking with his all-time sales. Eminem talked shit to Michael Jackson, and Michael Jackson didn't say shit. But he went and bought like all of Eminem's rights, like all of the Sony shit, and like all of that.
Like on him like that, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so pretty much anytime he did anything, he was getting paid. Go ahead, talk shit about me. I'm getting paid for it.
Damn, that's crazy because Eminem had enough money like that. But see, it doesn't surprise me because
he didn't have money like that. Like, imagine how much
people gotta watch. Hey, people gotta watch for Michael Jackson, bro. He's kind of slick now that I think about it, bro. You gotta watch from that motherfucker's kind of crazy. That's why he be doing the moonwalk so easy. He's kind of a greaseball. Cause look at this. He used to kick it with fucking. We used to kick it with the Beatles, bro. What's his name? McCartney. Paul McCartnney and Rico.
When you sell how many millions albums did he sell with Thriller? He had a couple extra dollars to spend.
look at this. And so in the 80s, the Beatles, their rights to their shit comes up. It comes up for sale. The royalties and the rights to their music, the masters. Those that don't know, masters, that's what you want when you're an artist. You want to own your masters. That's your publishing. That's everything. The hard copies, everything, the originals, that's you. Anything that anyone uses it, they got to pay you now. You own the masters. The masters for all the Beatles catalog came up. And they come to Mike, they want a loan. I'm probably butchering this, but you know what I mean? I'm going to give you the bogey version.
Yeah.
They wanted a loan from Mike, the Beatles, and you know what I'm saying? And by this time, John Lennon's already dead. You know what I'm saying? And John Lennon probably had the most money, to be honest. You know what I mean? But so he's dead and gone. They're talking about, hey, Mike, we need some money. He's like, yeah, I got you guys. You know what? I'll get it before someone else does. And then I'll just hold it until you guys get enough money, and I'll give it to you guys.
How much do you think he bought the Beatles?
I don't know, but he bought it and was like, it's mine. And then he started doing Beatles covers. He did fucking Over Me.
Yep. Kind of like his version better though.
Oh, come on. Get the fuck out of here. That might be the first version you heard, probably.
Oh, it probably was, yeah, for sure.
Because that's usually what happens. People hear that version first, then they go, oh, that's a Beatles song. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, bro. Because I don't like the Mike version. Give me the Beatles version.
And it was 47 mil. What he
Nuffa. Bro, he was like, how much is it? Oh, but Bubbles. Oh, get the bag out of the trunk. That's not the monkey's name?
Yeah.
Bubbles. Hey, Chris Tucker said when he went to Neverland Ranch, Bubbles was riding around on an ATV, a four-wheeler, smoking a cigarette. And he said the monkey was smoking a straight ridiculous cigarettes, just one after another.
Yeah.
And he knew how to light it and everything. And he had the coat on, the little red, little tuxedo blazer.
Yeah.
You feel me?
And then it was in 2007 where it wasn't just M&M's, but it was a whole publishing company, Famous Music, Eminem, which everything that he had was on it at that time.
Hey, Michael Jackson, he just be alone by himself at night, turn up all the music. Doom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, your rights are mine. You know, feel me? He got all the money. Him and Bobo. What's Bubbles?
Almost.
Him and Bubbles is hella gigging.
370 mil. He bought that for. And seeing
Is
like
that why, bro? Is that why they came out with that? Bro, you never heard it, huh?
which one?
Bro, it's the Michael Jackson, bro. They leaked it, bro. It was a cover of "Hi, My Name Is," bro.
That would have been fucking hilarious if he would have did any Eminem, like any Eminem, it would have been funny as fuck.
Oh shit, that would have been funny, bro. I would have been like, Michael Jackson's the boy, bro. I'm like, damn, because you know what? What did Eminem make a career out of? Going at
Yeah.
pop stars.
It was the song "Just Lose It." That was the one where he talked like a bunch of shit about Mike in there, and then that's when he went and bought the rights after that. So that song, anytime it's played,
Wait, lose it or not? Mom Spaghetti, not lose yourself. Lose yourself.
no, just lose. Well, I mean, the Mom Spaghetti and all that was on it too.
Damn, this motherfucker squeaking.
Just Lose It was one of his. I don't even know when that shit came out. It was on one of the newer albums. That
Well,
I
I
never
mean,
stuck with.
I mean, he had that. You know, what's that one? That you know what I mean? What's that one? That Guess Who's Back?
Yeah, but see that
was that the one where he was Michael Jackson and his nose fell off and he's trying to get the nose in the party?
No, that's the one. That's the Just Lose It.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mike didn't like that at all. He was like, Bubbles, get my phone.
If anyone's gonna make fun of me, I'm getting paid.
He called Quincy. Yeah, Mike. What's up, Mike? Quincy, it's Marshall. Guess who's back? Back again. You know what's funny is I think Eminem was like, getting ready for this, the white dirty version of Will Smith. Because when Will Smith came out in the 80s, you had gangster rap going on. You had like the New York conscious rap going on, and you had also the New York gangster shit going on. And then you had the Bismarckies of the world and like Tribe Called Quest that are kind of like a positive, the kind of more positive tip. De La Soul and Digital Underground, like these kind of more party-esque, positive / conscious music. And then who were we just talking about? We're talking about Eminem. Oh yeah, and then you had Will Smith. Will Smith's like the kids, all parents just don't understand. You know what I mean? Like the super kid stuff. And like kids love
Summertime just hit different, right? Like when he had Summertime.
Because he was grown now.
Yeah.
And he got Rakim to write that shit.
Okay.
Or it was either Rakim or Big Daddy Kane. It was one of them. And
all-time classic. All-time classic.
And he got a New York rapper ghostwrite that shit for a Philly classic. You know what I mean? Like, and what's crazy is because like in that video they're at the man, Derek would probably know this. I think it's called the Plateau. So it's just like this large little area where they have basketball courts. It's like a park, but you know what I'm saying? And that's where everybody queues it up, and that's where the Roots have their festival every year. Yeah. But and that's where that video, the Summertime video, was at, because then it goes down at the Plateau. That's where everybody, that's where the honeys is at. It's where all the fellas hang out. Yeah. And then, obviously it's on some gangster shit these days. It's fucking Philly as fuck. You know what I mean? But anyways, think about that. Isn't that not a good comparison? Because Eminem, he is cursing up a storm. His fucking kids love him. Moms don't like it. Don't let your children listen to Eminem. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's why. I mean, so many white people, were on his shit. Like really, that's it. Because I mean, either way, you're gonna get the hip hop market, but there was more white people coming into the hip hop market now.
Listen, I'm gonna keep it all the way above. Like nobody in the hills listen to Eminem like that. You know what I mean? Like, but I grew up around a lot of avid hip hop fans as well. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, growing up like, in underground shit, Eminem came from that world. You know what I mean? See, that's why a lot of the underground Eminem fans, they didn't like him when he went commercial because it was like, especially that Marshall Mathers LP, it became, you know, when you become unrelatable, like I'm not rich and I'm not white, and I'm not getting sued all the time. You know what I mean? For being, you know what I mean, being a white dude in this space. You know what I mean? Because it's funny because like you can be a rich white guy, there's probably not nobody suing you like that. But once you're like a rich white dude doing like some black people shit, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And you're getting the same treatment as the black people would. You know how many big black artists going through lawsuits all day, every day, bro? You can't push nobody out your way if they get in your way. You know what I'm saying? Like look at Devontae Adams, bro. Didn't he not paying a settlement to that cameraman?
Yeah.
Yo, it could have been anyone. Listen, if Hunter Renfro pushed that motherfucker, he ain't suing that motherfucker, bro. You know what I mean? Tell you that much.
Yeah.
It's just weird to be like that.
He talks about it in Raw, right? Where he's like in a club and then a whole fight goes down and then everybody
sues him. Come on. Like, you know why? Because it's a black dude with money. You know what I mean? They're like, you know what I'm saying? It just be like that, bro. It's like who was this? Somebody said in this interview I was watching, it said, oh yeah, okay. So are you aware of you ever heard this rapper named China Mac? He's more of a podcaster these days, but he's a Chinese rapper from New York, from Chinatown, bro. Fucking real gangster, real gangster shit, like real history gangster shit. Fucking, you remember that rapper Jin?
I don't think so.
You remember 106 in Park? He was the Asian rapper.
Oh yeah.
He's the battle rapper, and he got signed to Rough Riders.
Yeah.
So he was a kid from Miami, but like he had family in Chinatown, and like he was kind of blowing up in the New York scene, like repping Chinatown. Yo, this motherfucker China Mac didn't like that shit, bro. He went up in a club, bro, and fucking tried, and he was drinking, and he see this motherfucker, and they were like, I guess like he had some kind of issue with one of his homegirls or whatever, and he just looked for any reason because he was like, I'm about to take his chain, I'm about to take everything, you know what I mean? He had the hammer on him, and he saw Jin go to the bathroom. So he went straight to the bathroom, bro, and then one of Jin's homies followed, and that fool fucking started tussling with China Mac. China Mac pulls out the dude tried to pull out a knife on China Mac. So China Mac pulls out the banger and just lets off on a bow. You know what I mean? Then he says that then he says he's about to put it to his head, and the shit jams, bro.
Damn.
And all the while, Jin seen the thing, he runs, bro. You know what I mean? He ran like a little bitch, and it was funny that kind of fucked his whole career because now he was over here trying to, in that space, kind of like an Asian Eminem, you know what I mean? And because for what it's worth, Eminem was hard. He was kind of geeky and shit, but like, Eminem was on some thug shit. He's carrying guns and he's, you know what I mean? He's getting in altercations, you know what I mean? Like,
I said, China Mac's been to prison a lot.
Fuck yeah. He did like a long ass stint, you know what I'm saying? Like, and like now, so it's like he's became one of the voices in like the podcast space where like, motherfuckers like gangster shit, like, you know what I mean? Because he's a credible guy that can talk to you about shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of motherfuckers that don't really, nowadays they ain't really about the code, you know what I mean? But like, he's one of those guys that still champions the code, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, as it should be, bro. Because most of these motherfuckers, if you're not self-snitching, you're snitching on somebody else, these fucking rappers these days, bro. And like, it's crazy too, because the rappers, a lot of the young rappers, bro, they ain't fronting, bro. They're shooting. But they're sloppy with the self-snitching, and then they're not afraid to turn state witness, bro, because these youngsters ain't growing up in the code. So they're getting popped young, and they get hit with, they get hit with plea deals like, oh, you getting life, or here's 15. They take that 15 so quick, bro. And they ratas.
Yeah. Just can't even get into that if you're gonna be not all the way in, man. Officer said he ran from the New York cops. He was a fugitive. He was caught hiding out in San Jose.
Yep. Because so here's the thing, and this is how I know this because I'm from San Jose. You know what I mean? And like, you know what I'm saying? We got majority Vietnamese. You know what I'm saying? We got to get, like, one of my best friends is Chinese. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Jimmy, bro. And he owns the Chef Peas that out there. It's like a San Jose landmark for real. That restaurant. It's one of the old. It's actually been declared the San Jose landmark. That and Mark's Hot Dog, right? Two restaurants that's just been there from the dawn of fucking San Jose. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyways, China Mac, he's part of a gang called the Ghost Shadows, right? And they had, they're spread out all over. The Chinese, see, this was dope by Asians, bro. Like, it ain't about it's more about chapters, not like areas. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they got brothers, you know, oh, they're in the New York chapter. Oh, they got the Chinatown motherfuckers out there in Frisco. So that's where he was at. So but he was tucked off in Frisco. But then when that got hot, he was out there in San Ho. You know what I mean? Because San Ho, like, you be tucked off, bruh.
Yeah.
Because you got to go to like Frisco for real to find like a large Chinese population. Frisco and like Oakland. You know what I mean? Because in San Jose and everywhere else in the Bay, it's all Vietnamese. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Vietnamese get down too, bro. Vietnamese mafia shit, that shit ain't no joke. That's like and you know, it's like the evil stepson from the Chinese mafias. You know what I mean? And that was another thing too. Is like he was saying like in a lot of the gangs in Chinatown in New York back when he was banging. You know what I'm saying? There was another rival gang called B2K, right? Born to Kill, or BTK, and Born to Kill. They're Vietnamese, bro. Because you're in the world of Chinese now, and they're the most savage, bro. They're the most violent, and like most of those gangs were head by other like exiled Chinese gangsters, like fools that like used to be Gold Shadows or used to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now they're like, fuck this shit, and they round up all the Vietnamese, you know what I mean? And like basically turn on their people type of shit. Because you know what's funny is like people don't know. It's like people that aren't familiarized with the politics of Bloods and Crips. You just think, oh, one side's blue, one side's red. You don't know that, like, oh, the Hoovers are Crips and the 60s are Crips, and they don't fuck with each other. And like, but like the 60s will fuck with the Bompton Bloods, but they won't fuck with the Inglewood Bloods. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's like these crazy politics. But if you don't know, just like if you just, what do people say about Asians? Oh, they all look the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just, it's the truth. It's just, you know what I mean? And the motherfuckers is really, you know what I mean? I grew up warring with Asian gangs, bro. You know what I mean? Them Vietnamese don't play. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love the Vietnamese people too. Those are some of my greatest homies, bro. In the game too, where I'm from, like those are the ones that was blessing us. You know what I mean? There's another one. Like we had the homie. He's half Chinese and Vietnamese, right? But his brother only claimed Chinese because he was like a part of the Frisco Washing. You know what I mean? And the Washing gang, bro. That's that shit. You know what I mean? That shit like has roots all the way up to like triads and China type of shit. So like, but this dude used to have the line on everything, bro. It was crazy because we were kids, and this dude's older brother would just bless his younger brother with things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, it's
His brother
crazy.
had to fucking,
This Asian dude Johnny that I went to high school with, like, man, just little motherfucker, like smoking weed and fucking playing cards for money and shit, and like, man,
playing 13 up. Yeah, y'all had hella Vietnamese too in Dago, bro.
Yeah,
hella Vietnamese, bro.
Yeah, it was. So we played a Mexican version of like 13.
Okay,
what's that shit called? Con Quien. I can't even remember how to play it or anything.
So is it 3-5-5? Like 3 cards, 5 cards, 5 cards?
You know, I cannot even remember how that shit went. I would like
Filipinos got a version too.
Yeah,
it's called Pasoy. You know what I mean? Okay.
Yeah, I cannot remember how that shit went, but I just remember it was real.
It's all variations of poker though.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It was just dollar games, and yeah, this dude was a savage, but like little as hell, like crazy as hell, always talking shit to people. You know, always getting into scams.
What's up?
And then he's the one who's like, man, does the most time in prison out of everybody. Is like,
yeah.
Man, after he turns 18, just everything just he went full out for the crew.
So I had this homie Charles Lee, right? Man, shout out to Charles Lee. It's funny because I used to call him Charles Lee Ray. You know what I mean? Like, that's Chucky's name. And Charles Lee, he's another one of those halflings, bro. Half Chinese, half Vietnamese. And but he was raised more Chinese, right? Because his mom's there and his dad wasn't around. So he was one of those guys, like, grew up thugging it as fuck, right? And like when we were all young, you know, everybody always wanted to play with guns, bro. And then I remember we got into the CO2, the CO2 guns,
right?
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. And
like you can get the bigger the higher CO2 cartridges, whatever, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And then you can get he used to get the illegal. They were like the little sharp point BBs. They were like pellets.
Oh fuck!
You know what I'm saying? And so he did a stint in YA, bro. We were like 13, bro, because he just ran up on the op and just cha 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 in his face like a gang of times, bro, with a fresh CO2. And that shit, like, it's basically like little mini shanks in the dude's face, like hell of them, bro. Just like holding the dude down type of shit. You know what I mean? And we're at the bus stop, like, oh shit, Charles Lee's crazy, bro. And then, like, you know, you can't get away with that shit. But back then, even though there's no cameras, little kids, bro, we're like this junior high, and motherfuckers is hella ratting. Motherfuckers saw it. It's the bus stop, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, motherfuckers saw that shit. And, like, I went to a middle school called Quimby, right? And it was, like, on this road called Quimby Road. And then the bus stop's right across the street. You hop, and it's the 39. The bus was the 39 bus. So, like, that hood was called the Tray 9 hood. You know, that's where I was from. That's where I'm from, you know what I mean? And, like, motherfuckers would jump on the Tray 9. And like, two stops down, you're at the mall. And at the mall is the main bus stop, like, hub. So you can go everywhere from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, you know, so everybody always went to the mall. You know, so we're all at the bus stop, bro, and you know, and Charles Lee was small as fuck. What's nuts is, like, he does YA, he comes out, then he stabs somebody at one of them coffee shops.
Fuck.
You know what I mean? Yeah, stabs somebody, same thing. He gets, and see, same thing is he ends up getting ratted on, because that's the only way you can get popped in the Asian community. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get ratted on by some kind of outsider or some bullshit, bro. And he stabbed some white dude. You know what I'm saying? Now, it was this white dude, we used to call him Tiger and shit. This fool was like hella Vietnamese wash and shit, you know what I mean? Because every now and then you get that. You know, you get one white, you know, just like you see like an all black crew, you got the one white guy, he says the N-word and shit, you know what I mean? Like, you had this Asian crew, and they kicked it with this white dude, and my man Charles didn't like that shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, when Charles got out, he just wanted to have, you know, when you get out, you're like, he's institutionalized, bro. We was hella young. He's like, he didn't like, he's like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, outsiders type shit. A lot of Asian gangs are like that too. They don't fuck, like, and it's not just like whites, or it's just any other race. Like, you know, you're an outsider, they don't really fuck with you. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta serve some type of purpose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I moved a lot of work with them, so like they fucked with me ultimately. Plus, like, the ones that I fucked with, I grew up with them as kids before we grew up into the politics and shit. Because, you know, when I grew up, I didn't know, like, the high school we went to had a long-standing history of, like, Vietnamese ward with Filipinos and shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, shit.
And here I am, like, half my boys are Filipino and Vietnamese, and then the Mexicans. So it's different with my generation. But yes, even when I got there, the fobbed out Vietnamese, we funked with them. You know what I mean? Like, these motherfuckers was crazy. You know what I mean? Like, anyways.
Marty Chaotic said she's been filling her queue. So, yeah, she's on auto, but, yeah, she said she's been busy, so she's not able to.
You should ask her, like, hey, if you got your queue filled, I could punch it through. You know what I mean?
Well, no, she left it on auto, so it would just pull off of.
Oh, it just goes toop, toop?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So she didn't just queue it up and let it going.
No, yeah, she knows that it's on auto. She said she's been setting her queue though.
Okay, look at this, bro. Here's the scariest shit. One of the scary experiences I had, right? So look at this. So we go to this rave, is in Frisco. It's called Popsicle, right? And Popsicle, they used to have this every year. This is probably like the third year or something like that. Because it was like, you know, it was big already. Like, oh, shit, you going to Popsicle? Like, you know what I mean? It's one of those. So it's like, boom, we're all there. We're hella deep, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I'm with most of my Asian, I'm with like majority of my Asian partners, you know what I mean? And then like, it's like the subgroup that I came with is like me, my birthday twin BJ, you know what I'm saying? He's like a black Puerto Rican cat, right? And then my boy Alan, he's a Filipino cat. So and then we met everybody else up, and you know what I'm saying? And you know, we're kind of off to the side doing our own thing at the rave. And my man's, at this rave, you know what I mean? Well, raves in general, bitches are like half naked, bro. You know, it just is what it is at raves, you know what I mean? And so my man, he's there with his lady, and she's just out there in some bra and panties, and some dude just grabs on her, you know what I mean? And, you know, another Asian dude. And then my dude's hella respect, like, hey, bro, this is my lady, bro, you know what I mean? She with me and this and that. And dude just snuffs a pow, you know what I mean? So a little rumble ensues, but we're off to the side. And listen, you know, I'm not even gonna front. I didn't know it was my boys because it just looked like a bunch of them all the same, right? You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, who is it? Like, you see that? What's going on? You know what I mean? And then, you know, we find out, oh, that's the homies in there. I'm like, oh shit. And then, you know, a lot of them got kicked out and or arrested or were being detained or whatever. So like we go outside, and then like, you know, then we meet up with the rest of them, and we're like, and you know, they're chopping it with some other group. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, and then, you know, my boy's like, that's them right there. You know what I'm saying? And they're like chopping it like, yo, meet us over here type of shit. So we walk deep into the parking lot, and then, you know, I'm like, tell my boy, hit the button, like, you know, find where I'm trying to remember. I'm on Molly, bro. I'm like, where the fuck we park? Because we got shit in the car. You know what I mean? Let's go grab the sticks out of the fucking car. So he's pressing ding, 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 ding. You know, he's trying to find where it's at. And then, you know what I'm saying? Where we're parked at is right there by these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? So they look, you know what I'm saying? So we end up, and it's what most of us parked, you know what I mean? So, and these guys are just walking, right? You know what I'm saying? So we start rumbling with these fools, and then we got all our cars and motherfuckers popping in the trunk and pulling shit out and beating these fools with inanimate objects and shit. And then like one of my boys, you know what I'm saying? Shout out, rest in peace to my man David, the dude I was telling you about that just took his life almost 2 months ago. You know what I'm saying? He was a cameraman, bruh. His shit was called Light Bulb Entertainment. You know what I mean? Real shit. We used to just pay him. He was the homie. We used to pay him, and he was the one that filmed all, you know, when I worked for that magazine, and he would just film us everywhere we went, bro, because we were trying to do our Mac Dre shit, like our little This TV type shit, you know?
Yeah.
You know, everybody was doing shit like that, you know what I mean? Like, and you know, so anyways, he films us fucking these fools up, and like at one point, like some other dudes like got in a car, and then like, you know, the rave was like, you know, it's a rave, so the parking lot's like hella thick, so they couldn't even like try to drive away unless they were trying to run people over. So then it's like footage of us, like a whole mob. Fucking, I don't even know half the people that are in the shit because it just became like mob mentality. Now fools are just wrecking the car like Street Fighter. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like the bonus stage. Fools are like, it was insane, bro. And you see me, I'm just on top of the roof, stomping out the fucking sunroof and fucking. And then like, so this footage gets on MySpace, right? And then now that all these, this is my first experience of like some online crazy shit, bro. You know what I mean? Because now it's like, oh, we're gonna kill you, motherfuckers. This and that. This is Jackson Street Boys, and whoa. And I'm like, oh shit, that was Jackson Street Boys. Because you know what I'm saying? This is like a real notable Chinese gang, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like from the city, like, oh shit. Good thing we're nobodies. You know what I mean? And then I told my man, I was like, you know, this is before like you're tagging people and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it's like there's like hella people in this video, but you know, it's just like, but they were just all in the comments, like, you know what I mean? Those Jackson Street Boys and those, and then you know, it's like years later, I remember seeing a documentary on them on like a gangland and shit. I was like, oh shit. And it's not like I was like, oh, those are the fools.
Yeah.
But it was that gang, bro.
Yeah.
And those fools are body motherfuckers, like, you know what I mean? I mean, we were like 40, 50 deep, bro. And then the crowd got involved, but they were like probably like, you know, 15, 20 deep maybe. They were savages, bro.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers came out with knives and all the shit, bro. Machetes and shit. You know what I mean? Good thing they come out with no sticks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now my man BJ, he was just like, because he, you know, BJ's kind of quiet as kept. He's a big dude. He's like 6 feet tall, like bigger than me. Than the average, I guess you should say. But he was like, I was like, damn, where you at? And the whole thing. He's like, man, I'm still off to the side, bro. He's like, I ain't trying to get stabbed. And he was with the shit, you know what I mean? I mean, when we were hella deep, and then when, you know what I mean, I was on the Molly, bro. Once I got Johnny Dangerous real quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, you when you're like 30 deep, you're like, fuck it, we're gonna kill you. It's on, bro. We're unstoppable. You know what I mean? Everybody bum rushed the door. The video was funny though. There's like somebody opened the passenger door and then like pulling the driver out and then pulling the passenger out and like they're just rocking the car doors, like, you know, pushing it as far as you can go and like trying until it's bent like the older way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like fuck their shit up. That's just funny. I mean, and it's funny, just like all stupid fucking bullshit started with somebody trying to fuck with somebody's lady and shit. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's usually how it is, right?
Or it's some bitch fucking with two dudes. You know what I mean? Like that's all. I mean, shit. Helen of Troy, right? What do they say? She would launch 1,000 ships. Yeah, I bet she would. She gave that motherfucker the first piece of pussy, and she was like, "This guy over there, though, you know what I mean? He had the pussy first. What? Fuck him. Send 1,000 ships." He'll know the wrath of Troy.
Fucking wild.
Okay. What was the first sin? The motherfucker lied, right? The bitch said, the God told the bitch, and Adam said, "Don't you eat that apple." Right?
Yeah.
Then they thought, this is when they didn't know God was always watching. They're like, he left. Give me that apple. He's like, but God said, like, listen, you want this pussy or what? He's like, you're right. eats the apple, bruh. Then the snake comes up. Told y'all. Told y'all about that forbidden fruit now.
Marty said Jimmy G can't practice with Las Vegas until he passes the physical, right? Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's how it works, right?
Training camp's end of July. I'm pretty sure he'll be okay by then. I think this is all, we're blowing it out of proportion. If someone has Jimmy in the Superflex Dynasty and you're trying to get him for cheap, this probably be the time. You know what I mean? Because if that person's shook. Me personally, I would do that. I'll try to get Jimmy for the low right now just to have an extra fucking depth if I can do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Jimmy, what is Jimmy anyway? You know what I mean? Like the fact that he's with Josh McDaniels, I bet you Jimmy was sold on him being a long-term solution for them. You know what I mean? And I still think that's possible, but this is just what Jimmy is, bro. He's an injury riddled guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Always has been.
You know what I mean? And it's like the hip bone's connected to the thigh bone and you know what I mean? And it's the shoulder or it's the ankle or it's the fucking, but he never loses that smile, huh?
Well, you can't hit quarterbacks in the face. Like, that's what it is.
You know what I'm saying? Jimmy GQ. He's in all black these days. Looks good in black.
What up, Ryan? Ryan in the house. Said, morning, fellas. Bijan alert. Would you trade Stroud, Javonte, and Bateman for Bijan? Win now. Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like a single QB. I'm smashing that. You know what I mean? Stroud is probably depth on it. If it's super flex, it's a little much. But win now. Makes me say, okay, win now. Because hey, for all we know, Stroud's, what's the ceiling of Stroud? He's going to be in a 49er style offense. If you know what I mean, if that defense is any type of good, like they need to be throwing a ton. They need to be a bad team for Stroud to be like fantasy viable year one. And so I think trading him now might even help. He probably has the highest value you have right now. Because what if we see a lot of bad Stroud? Nobody wants him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he said bad. He said super flex.
Oh, see, okay, but I mean, win now.
I guess this to me is like, you're trading a lower first for a higher first, and then throwing in Javonte and Bateman.
Yeah, and that's and Bateman's like a true throw in, but Javonte is like where he's, that makes it sweet for that other guy. You know what I mean? Because Javonte still could have some high upside here. It's just the injuries what makes us, treat him like a throw in, because it is kind of like a throw in right here. But Stroud, I mean, also, we play in QB premium leagues. So, I would imagine this is like a 1 point for every 25 passing yards league. And, so I'm okay with it.
Let's see here. Office says Jimmy G will get released. He won't instill enough trust with the Raiders management. And Bakes said, I've said it once before and I'll say it again. Fuck Jimmy G. He'll be sat for the backup at least half the year.
Hey, man, I love Jimmy, bro. I'm never going to say, you can't get me to say a bad thing about Jimmy, bro. I bet you if Jimmy pulled up right now and said, hey, y'all, we're going out with some porn stars, everybody's clearing their schedule. I can't come into work today. You don't even know who you call. You just like, oh, shit, going out with Jimmy and some porn stars. You know what I'm saying? Then you find out Jimmy's into big plus size porn stars. Like, oh, come on, Jimmy. It's my new Raider face. He's like, no more Italian birds. What was that one that he got famous for? Caramia.
Yeah, I don't even remember that.
She was the thick ass Italian one with the real titties. Yeah, but she was probably like 40 when he was taking her down. But you could imagine, so he was like maybe late 20s at the time. So when he was probably like 18, this was the one he was jerking off to in college. You know what I mean?
Probably, right?
Seriously though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So for him, it was like a dream come true. You know what I mean?
Look at Marty. To infinity and Bijan.
I like it. Give him a ding.
What? Come on, there we go.
Yeah.
That is
to
correct.
Infinity and Bijan. It's way better than Bijan mustard.
That's for sure.
Yeah. That's funny though.
Yeah, fucking hilarious.
But like Peacock, that's a T-shirt in the making. All right, Bijan and the goddamn Buzz Lightyear get up.
Hell yeah.
That'd be hard actually. And then somebody could be Woody. Put like Ritter as Woody or something. Yeah, that'd be stupid.
Yeah. Man, I'm high as fuck right now.
Am I on the clock in 21? Because I didn't check anything outside of I don't think I checked any league before I jumped on this morning.
Yeah, I didn't either. If Bogey's on the clock, let us know. I think someone said Bakes was on the clock a little bit ago.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. Because I saw someone say something about someone on the clock.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Marty said, "Wish I could take credit for it. I stole it." Hey, man, I'm okay with stealing ideas. Like, they're not around here. Like, and it's like, it's okay to say you steal an idea. Who cares?
Listen, bro, I didn't invent English now. You know what I mean? Are we all stealing language when we talk? I don't think so. Hello, freedom of speech.
Office said, "I need a new team name. Been rolling with Wilfork on the first date. Wilfork on the first date for too long. I was the Super Bowl burners for the longest time. I still rock that usually in like.
I always made my own franchises and I would make my own logos. Like in one of my home leagues for years, I was the Mooey Bullies, and then I had the Brahma Bull logo, but not the Rocks Brahma Bull, but it was like a bull logo, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like,
Who is this Rudy Poo?
And then because you know what I mean, these are all like my bogey sayings for years. Like I'd always be like if somebody said, what you think? Oh, it's Mooey. You know what I mean? Like it's you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's Mooey. You know what I mean? Like it's straight. You know what I mean? Or like I'd be like, let's strike out, let's dip, let's leave, let's bully. You know what I mean? Hey, let's bully. You know what I'm saying? That was always my shit. Hey, let's bully. I don't know why that left my repertoire in the last couple of years. That was, or instead of saying peace on the phone, I'd be like, all right then, bully. You know what I mean? That was like my shit. So people that talked to me and they said that, you knew they know me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyways, so like the other one was the Bully Mammoths, right? Okay. That was my other team for the longest. And the Bully Mammoths, and then it was a woolly mammoth. He's like this, and he's about to crush a fucking caveman dude. He has a spear. You know what I mean? The Bully Mammoths.
Nice.
Yeah, that was my keeper league. The Bully Mammoths lost. That was a keeper league, the $500 league, and they lost 3 years in a row in the Super Bowl, as legend has it.
Yeah,
I should have changed the team name, bro. I figure like, man, I need a rebrand, bro. And that's probably what he's thinking right here. Because when was the last time you went as Wilford's first date or Vince Wilford's first date? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's like in a lot of these, I kind of try to switch it up. You know, like I mean, it's hard to keep like going with like different names and stuff. But I mean,
I don't know. I'm in so many now that I stopped letting that affect my mind state. I'm just the GMM network everywhere, pretty much. You know what I mean?
Well, in a lot of our dynasties, you know, we're the wrestling.
Yeah, we're our characters. Yeah,
like that makes it cool.
I know, right? I think I won as Razor Ramon in League 13.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, score one for the bad guy. I mean, for the good guy, I guess you say.
All right, let's see. And what Marty say? He said I had Debo in one league last year and started like 0-4 and kept changing the name. Debo in 1, Debo in 2. Debo.
See, once you started the trend, the fantasy guys started laughing. Yeah, let's keep it up. Let's see how long he'll keep this up before he changes that shit.
Hey, AJ in the house.
Hey, what's up, son? You know, I didn't want to tell anyone, but we've been looking for AJ. He ran away from home. Son, where have you been? Oh, bad joke.
Oh man, and let's see.
How you doing, though, AJ?
Yeah.
We gotta get, man. We need to get down. We got to get down on one of these playmakers. He's a junior playmaker. He almost got his JV badge though, huh? He almost got his jacket. You know what I mean? He was working up towards it. You know what I'm saying? He still wears the singlet. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Oh man, hope you're all right, AJ. For real, hope everything's well.
Yeah, I hope everything's cool, man. Hope be smooth, my young brother.
Yeah, Aqua said 2 years, lost all 4 championship teams and leagues on the Hamlin injury. Yeah, I mean, I just don't even count those. You know, like it sucks. Like it's like we got to.
Hey, hey, you know what's crazy is I've never been more driven. Like I was on the precipice of topping the year prior. I think you were too.
Yeah.
Or like.
Bogey just went into the Matrix. Yeah, because I think I ended up hitting the same amount of championships as the year prior. But yeah, I definitely would have won more if that game would have played out. Yeah, literally projected to win all 4. Yeah. Damn, that sucks, AJ. So I've been wanting to stream. My computer broke. Haven't been able to stream. Shit went crazy for a second. Staying out of homies. Damn, bro. Hope all is well, homie. Yeah, that should. Yeah. Rough patches can be rough. But they usually don't last forever. So keep your head up, bro. Keep your head up. Yeah, Alpha said I ain't mad. Yeah, I mean, it was just a freak accident, man. Just way different than any other finish to any other fantasy season ever. And while we still got some of the real ones in here, I got to remind you guys, make sure you go subscribe to both podcasts that we have, the Fantasy Football Hustler podcast. Pretty much all the uploads. It's all uploads of the live streams. But if you ever miss, some stuff on YouTube, you can check it out on the podcast. If you go to hustlerpod.com, you can go there and click on any platform that you listen to, and it'll just take you right there. Or just go search it, Spotify, Apple, everywhere. And we need some more 5-star reviews. Leave some 5-star reviews. We'll make sure to shout you out on the shows as well for leaving 5-star reviews. And go to the Silver Screen Breakdown podcast as well. Make sure you go download the old episodes. Go check them out. Super dope. And leave some 5-star reviews there, Spotify, Apple. And make sure you would go subscribe to the Silver Screen Breakdowns YouTube channel. We need to get more views and likes and subs over there. And you got a cord blocking your entire.
Yeah, my bad. Hold on. There you go. Trying to find the little thing to plug it in.
What up? Yeah. He said Bears play Green Bay in week 1. Is it an advantage because they got Love in week 1 or a disadvantage for Chicago because they have no film on him and can't prepare? I mean, he's played before, so I mean, there's little film, on him. But yeah, I'd say it's more of an advantage right away. Get Love early with experience on the season.
Matt Eberflus, head coach of the Bears, defensive-minded guy. He's going to spend and they're division rivals, and he's already played them twice. Right? Yeah, they were with Aaron Rodgers, but he's played them twice. I'm pointing this out to say that it's not about the QB per se. In this case, it's about knowing Matt LaFleur's system. You know what I mean? Knowing how to defend against it. And that now you have all offseason to prepare for a Jordan Love in that system. I like Bears to start 1-0, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go. That defense is going to be nasty. Hit the what's or get the what's ready. We got motherfucking Brisker.
What?
I said Brisker.
What?
I said Brisker.
What?
I said TJ Edwards.
What?
Trumaine Edmonds.
What?
I said Trumaine Edmonds.
What?
Jack Sanborn.
What?
I had to throw my man in there.
What?
They're nasty over there. Shit, I know I'm missing a bunch of other cats. Who else am I missing? They brought in the edge rusher in free agent. Who?
They got Gordon over there.
They got Gordon. Yup. Yeah, that secondary is going to be nasty.
Oh, yeah. Marty said Noah Sewell. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They got Noah Sewell. Oh, yeah. I forgot about the kid.
Yeah, that's all I could think of right now over there.
I mean, they just got a nice young core over there. They were already feisty as fuck last year, you know what I mean?
Marty said, I'm working for a person, Linda Hawkinson, in Minneapolis later today, hoping there's a relation to TJ. That'd be cool. Said, I worked at Anthony Barr's mother's home about 2 years ago. That's cool. Oh, yeah.
I mean, right? If I ever meet anyone named Godwin, bro, I'm like, listen, bro, I know he's your brother.
And Superfan said, yeah, but it's all film of him time. Didn't he start? Hasn't he started 1 or 2 games?
He started again against the Chiefs. That was when that was the whole COVID. Remember that?
Yeah.
The Aaron Rodgers COVID week. Well,
I guess he's only started one game.
Didn't he play last year? Didn't he get in the game? Didn't they bench Aaron Rodgers at one point, like in a game, like in a blowout?
Yeah, that's what you're saying. That's a garbage time.
And then there's preseason.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what they're gonna you know what it is. They're just gonna try to run, and then play action down the field. That's what they're gonna try to do. And then I think the X factor for Jordan Love is the fact that he could take off with his legs. You know what I mean?
That's why I really do like Aaron Jones this year for redraft, because being drafted hella late. People think because Aaron Rodgers is gone that Aaron Jones is gonna completely just go to shit, when he's gonna be him and AJ Dillon, this is actually the year where they're probably gonna get used like we wish that they got used with Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean, it's all the Shanahan disciples. I always say they're always dancing on the borderline of arrogance, because it's like, you know what I mean? Now we're gonna see how arrogant is Matt LaFleur, that he could win without Aaron Rodgers, because it's a system thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like Shanahan for years, it's a system thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, is it?
Yeah, we're gonna.
Or do you still truly need that QB to take you over the top, right? Because if it's a system thing, you need everything else to work too. You need the defense to work. You need the run game to click. You need everything to be. You need everything to accent the QB.
And their defense is super whack. So
Green Bay.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so big on fucking Quay Walker this year, right? Everybody's gonna be running on them.
Yeah.
They're gonna be in a lot of negative game scripts. That defense could be on the field all day, and that's what we want.
Totally could be. All right. Just a reminder, everybody, Ricky Williams is going to be on this show. So it's going to be an early morning joint where he's on with us this Friday, June 2nd. So make sure you guys are in attendance. And he's going to be coming on after we're going to be a few hours in. But we're going to keep the show. It's going to be a long, lit show.
It's your favorite Heisman's favorite Heisman making his triumphant return.
Hell yeah.
And the last time we seen him, you know what I'm saying, now he's taking another full trip around the sun. So kind of cool.
Yeah.
I want to ask him about that. How, as you age, what do you find, as we age and grow wiser, what do we find, what do you find in age? You know what I mean? I think, we'll find something. We'll workshop it.
Yeah, definitely. Cannot wait. And Kidda said we need to do some film breakdown with Ricky Williams. That would be cool. Hear how he breaks down.
It's just that the thing that sucks is you know what I mean? The stream could get shut down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got to do short plays, and I feel like just one play here, one play there, something like that. Because we can't. We can't be having all types of plays, because we'll get flagged for sure. Uh-oh. And Carl said, did Bogey get the links to my rap songs he wanted to hear?
Oh, shit. Yeah, I didn't grab them out the chat last night. My bad, I was on shrooms.
No, and I don't
drop them in the joint again.
I got to add you as a moderator.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
All right. So, super fans, go ahead and put another message, and now you're a mod. You should be able to share a link. And Marty said, I wonder if he'd be down to review his highlights. And seeing, I wonder, how much he's actually into that. Because, he gets way more into it when we talk about astrology and, and he really, it's cool that he's interested in fantasy football. He knows, that it's going to be the wave of the future with ways that fans, interact with, the NFL game. That's what's cool about it.
Yeah, because one thing that resonated with me was like, he was like, everybody plays fantasy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that was the realization that I was watching him have that realization. Like, yeah, everybody plays fantasy. You know what I mean? Kids, your girlfriends. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, it's you know what I mean?
People at work. I mean,
Yeah.
people who are connected to it. I mean, yeah, like how many? I mean, shit. Like I remember when I was still listening to ESPN. Like, I mean, one thing that was pretty cool was they would bring on people from the 16 team. It was like all the Avengers. It was like for like the Avengers movie, they had a fantasy football like fucking league with like all the Avengers in it and shit. And
Cool.
yeah, so like he got to like bring that. He was bringing on a handful of people from that league, and because he was in the movie, so he had like the ties to some of these people, and then they would talk about their league and who they're playing and what kind of people they had on the squad. And I mean, just like
it becomes relatable.
Yeah,
they become relatable, and you can identify with them because motherfuckers, I mean, they're doing the same shit we was doing.
Yeah,
like as regular folk. You know what I mean?
Oh shit! It's an old MySpace link.
Oh word!
Oh, this shit's crazy, but I'm gonna send it to you right now. He threw it in the chat.
Okay, cool. Yeah, for sure. Send that joint to me. Hell yeah. Yeah, bro, that shit's crazy. I haven't clicked on a MySpace. If my MySpace still exists, there's hella joints on there.
Yeah, I remember my MySpace was Mac Dre when he clicked on it and got in, and I don't even remember. It was just like random pictures of us like just getting hyphy.
I think mine, ironically enough, or no coincidence, right? The main picture is me like this. I'm like that, and I'm like showing my grill, and I have like my chain hanging and shit. And I'm at some club, so I'm like, you had to be like on your preppy boy shit at the clubs. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I had like a sweater with like the collar underneath out. You know what I mean? And then that was the cover of because this was my boy's online magazine. It was called Hyphy.com.
Yeah.
And so it had the little Hyphy.com logo and shit.
Right.
Yeah. So while you got pictures of you getting hyphy, I have a picture that says hyphy on it. But that was my main like thing. And I think I had another. If not, I think my main picture was me, my lady, and the Jacker at a show I did with the Jack. I mean, I had dummy ass chains on, man. That was when remember the donkey rope shits?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had a legit donkey rope. But it was hollow, but it was still legit. You know what I mean? Because most people have them plated ass shits. You know what I mean? I had to preface it by saying hollow because then it was fat, but it was hollow. You know what I mean? Still heavy.
Office said, "How does your tolerance grow when you shroom a lot?" Said it's been like 15 years.
I mean, so I'll microdose. So microdosing by definition is like heightening senses. Then I'll drink, and then I'll just dance around the line of like sensory overload, and that's what I do. And I usually, when I get to that point, it's later in the day or in the night. You know what I mean? I'm actually going on a marathon because I think I actually did a week straight where every day I was shrooming this past week. Yesterday made a week straight. Yeah, because I had those chocolates, so it's easier to ration. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're concentrated, so they're hitting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we've been kicking it with my sister and them a lot because now I live near her again, and they're older, but she got this homie Jamer, Filipino cat from the city, and so I grew up with this dude, and that dude he partied like me. So when we would all go out, you know what I mean, like we like where's it at, or it'd be vice versa, you know what I mean, like we're going out, we're all Somali, or we're going out, you know what I mean. So like we're at my nephew's birthday party at the roller skating rink on Friday. And I'm a couple days, I'm Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm 5 days into my fucking my marathon. You know what I mean? So I show up and I'm like, oh, what's up, Jamer? And I'm like, bruh, I take my backpack off. I'm like, hey, here, boom, bring him off a piece of the chocolate. He's like, nah, bro, not right now. I'm like, listen, you'll be good, bro. He's like, oh, okay. Like, didn't even have to convince him much. Oh, okay. I'm like, I'm off like 4 of these right now. He's like, oh, all right. And like, you know what I mean? Like an hour later, hey, let me get another piece. Like, yeah, hell yeah, it's good, right? He's like, for real though. Because we're there for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Smacking, bro. Smacking good. Or I'm not smacking, that's all I'm like, we're shrooming good, you know what I mean? And then like he hit me the next day, like, hey, let me get one of them bars. He's like, where do I get those chocolate bars at? So,
I wonder how I'd operate microdose in need of AK. I mean, microdosing. I mean, well, especially because like when we talk about microdosing, it's probably more than like a real like.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like when you do a microdose, you're doing like 0.2, like 0.3, like that's what like a real 0.1, maybe even. So really, you're just like Bogey says, just heightened senses. Your body will just feel like a little bit more relaxed. Like you'll feel in more of like a
Feel a little floaty. You feel
Yeah.
you feel really giddy, and everything's funny. Like things that are funny that you enjoy, it's really funny. Things that are like really devastating could be feeling really devastating. You know what I mean? So definitely, anytime I recommend when you shroom, always be in a good mindset. See, I get to the point where like sometimes I'll try like even if like things are going bad, I'm like, you know what, I need to find some answers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm willing to like attack that. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm just saying, if you want to have a good time, definitely be in the right state of mind. Sometimes I'm you know what I mean? Like I've been trying to like find some answers this past couple weeks. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, bro, I gotta get it. You know what I mean? What's the next move? Yeah, especially with the trying to arrange all this music. You know what I mean? Because I'm in that stage of shit. I'm about to start dropping hella shit. You know what I mean? Hella little EPs. You know what I mean? Because that was the idea. So I was on the phone with Peacock last night. You know what I mean? Like the Cheers joint, right?
And what up, Infinite in the house.
So the Cheers joint, I finally got it cleared, right? But I gotta put a cover to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's ready to release. So I'm like, do I release that by itself or as part of a project? Then I was thinking like, ooh, because there's kind of a group during that time I made that track. You know what I'm saying? There was a couple beats, like it's the beats that I made during that time. I didn't record on some of them till recently. You know what I mean? Like like for example, like I made this wave of beats. I was feeling a certain way, and then I used one of them at the time. Then I shelved the rest. Then when I found them, I heard them in a new light. It's brand new to everybody, right? Right? So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll group those together. So I was trying to think. So the cover is gonna be me with the fools at the setting of Cheers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, and that'll be like the title, but I don't want to call it Cheers.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, ooh, wouldn't you like maybe The Getaway? Because it says, wouldn't you like to get away, right?
Yeah, something with name. I mean, because everyone knows your name.
Yeah, where everyone knows your name.
Yeah.
There it is right there. See? And then I got another one called SSDD, right? Same shit, different day. And it's a track on its own, but I'm like, yo, I could group that with 4 or 5 other tracks, then that's SSD's a project. Because he made me a cover for that already.
Yeah.
Right? So he sends me yesterday, because I told him the ideas. Like, I want like a calendar. You know what I'm saying? And on different days, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, get money, get more money. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But you know what I mean? Circle dates and says the same thing, get more money. You know what I mean? But then I was like, oh, what if? Because now he sends me it, and it did exactly what I asked for. It looks hella dope. I'm like, oh, well, what if on the different days it's the different song titles? You know what I mean? So it's like a track listing, and I'm like, because now I can make that SSDD a project, because that's a great name for a project. Same shit, different day.
Yeah,
a life. You know what I mean?
And Infinite said is Samaji to starting running back for the Broncos. I mean,
right now, yeah.
Well, I mean, do we even know that? There's still no guarantee.
Okay, right. You know why I say right now? Because if you ask me right now, Javonte's not ready to start the year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Until they say he's good to go week 1. You know what I mean? We're not going to find that out till a while. So, but it's not like we're going to draft him above Javonte Williams at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Majay P. Ryan's a guy you're going to get double-digit rounds as your startup, and that's how it should be.
And he even says, "What's his value if it traded for a pick?" I feel like not really. I mean, in
if I had him, if I can get like a second round in return, I'll go to the Javonte guy. Hey, I got Samaje Perine, bro. Let me get your next year's second round. I might do that. What's Samaje Perine to me? Unless I need him all of a sudden and I'm happy I got him. Like, what if my running backs are hurt and I have Samaje? Fuck yeah, I'm excited because I can use him for a while. You know what I mean? They say I had Javonte and I have Samaje. I'm cooling. I'm like, cool. I can wait. Because, I mean, there's a high percentage chance he starts on the pup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, he had and if not the pup, he's be shitty like fucking J.K. Dobbins. And I like to say this. I'm it's one of my cardinal rules. Like that first year after an ACL for a running back, I don't fuck with them in fantasy in redraft.
Yeah,
I don't fuck last year. The recent example is J.K. Dobbins. You know what I mean? The year prior to that, and he has the most similar ACL to Javonte. where it's a ACL, MCL, and then structural damage. So it's like it's not like a clean tear like Brees Hall. You know what I mean? Where Brees Hall has a higher probability of starting week 1. But even then, with Brees Hall, I don't think he gets a full workload week 1. I think he's in a rotation, and he's going to lead that rotation. But I think, you know what I mean, they're going to play safe with their star running back. You know what I mean? Yeah. Versus Javonte, he's with a new regime. They don't need to rush this guy. You know what I mean? They probably don't even give a fuck about this guy. But they do enough that they didn't draft anybody, so they're going to use him. They did bring in Samaje Perine because no matter what, it's the Sean Payton backfield. There's going to be a timeshare. It's just it is what it is. You know, you go back to Kamara and Ingram, or you know, Reggie Bush and Pierre Thompson. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
I said Pierre Thompson, or is it Pierre Thomas? Pierre Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew it didn't sound right.
Jake said, just took my dark horse sleeper, Elijah Higgins, receiver turning tight end in a team that needs to replace Kasich Fox.
I don't even know who that is, so that's real neat. I like that. I just realized there's another guy named Higgins out there in the world.
Let's see.
Elijah Higgins.
Where does he even measure out on their depth chart? I mean, he's 4th on their tight end, like a depth chart right now. Like, that's just not good. Like, it doesn't matter like how good he might be or how young he is. Like, that like, I don't know. Usually, guys with the 4th string tight ends.
I guess for dynasty, yeah, but I mean, we're 100 days away from kickoff, so we are in redraft, and I'm not hearing that guy's name right now.
I'm sure I'm sure he is talking about our dynasty draft where we're like,
oh yeah, that's right.
There's like nobody left like right now. Like, man, it is very, very slim pickings.
Yeah, like I felt really good to like get like CJ Beathard to like behind my Trevor Lawrence and like Cooper Rush behind my Dak, and you know what I mean. I'm in that range in a lot of those joints. You know what I mean? Like what's team specific that like I should probably just sew it before someone else grabs. I'm hella mad. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'd be mad as fucking someone took Cooper Rush and I have Dak. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the most boring part of the draft, but here's where you get like a lot of the insurance policies.
There you go. That's there it is. The insurance policy phase.
Yeah. And look at that. We start talking insurance policies and Bogey just goes straight into the Matrix. Shout out to everyone who's up in the chat. Reminder about following on all podcasts out there. And, don't forget, we got the box break going down tomorrow. It goes down every Wednesday. The teams that we got available, they're all $10. Cardinals, Falcons, Panthers, Lions, Texans, Colts, Raiders, Rams, Patriots, Giants, Eagles, Seahawks, Buccaneers. And we got 2 boxes here that you can see. The Panini Chronicles Mega Pack of draft picks. Draft picks is the brand. And I think there's about 60 cards in there, and this is from 2021. So we're gonna get some 2021 draft picks. And there's one auto on average in that box, and then the Panini Contenders 1 auto on average in the blaster box there. So we're doing those 2. All the teams are $10. Let me know if you want to get in on it.
My bad. Phone calls and shit.
Look at that. We start talking insurance policies and Bogey goes right into the Matrix.
And you know, say motherfuckers was calling me like, speaking of insurance policy.
All right, Banks. I'll lock you in for the Falcons. Yeah, we only got a handful of teams left.
Trying to think. We gotta make some moves. I've been at night. You know what's been crazy on the shroom at night? When I'm like winding down, I just start looking. Okay, who is gonna make a trade with me? You know what I mean? Start shooting hell of them out, bro. Then that's my routine when I'm in the morning, waking up, funneling through my madness. Like, okay, take that one down, take that one down. You know what I mean? Just going in canceling hell of a shit. But at least if they had saw the ones I canceled, if they saw it, they'll come back if they want it.
Yeah, it's almost like a bad time to trade right now because.
That's why I'm shooting offers out, because people might do a bad.
Oh
trade.
no, I'm just talking about my experiences.
Oh,
Everyone may have different ones, but yeah, it just doesn't seem like a good time to trade for me right now because I'm getting crazy low ball offers.
Yeah,
like in a lot of spots, and but yeah, so I mean, this is one of those times where like trade values go with like, I mean, as soon as the draft is coming, like as it approaches, every day it gets closer, like the trade values get a little bit higher on these draft picks. And I feel like as it gets closer to August, things are going to ramp up. And then, of course, as things get closer and closer to week 1, people are going to be trying to make moves for their starting spots in week 1. But, man, it's like if you can have the patience to hold out until midseason, someone's going to give up a bunch of picks or a bunch of depth to get, like, you know, some of these players who they think could be a win now, like let me buy a championship, like type of move.
I love doing that. It doesn't always work. I'd say 9 times out of 10 it doesn't work.
How about 11 times out of 12 it doesn't work?
There you go.
It's so hard to win the championship that like not every single move is you know, no matter how good the player is.
Yeah, I mean,
you got 19 starters up in this bitch. Like you got to have a solid squad and be adding on. Just like
like I wasn't just like when I was making those moves last season, I wasn't just adding on like, okay, let me get, you know, Najee off you for next year's first. I was like, I need Najee and you know whatever IDP I was getting. You know what I mean? Like I was doing a bunch of that and it was working. I was like, hell yeah. Because then it's like I was also being able to fix some needs. Like I hated like being like as naked with linebackers as I was in some of those original ones, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You catch a few injuries and they're like, fuck, and I built my team to be like hella linebackers, you know what I mean? So if you don't have the depth, it's just like teams that are running back heavy. Like you know, if you build your team like that in Dynasty, you better have every fucking handcuff, goddammit, because you know what I'm saying, those motherfuckers go down, there goes your season, you know what I mean?
And really, I mean, that's just a good rule in Dynasty, especially like our formats where we got 50-something players.
Yeah.
Plus the taxi squads and IRs. Like, you better be like really like getting your backups. Like
I've been trying to trade for so many. I have so much Joe Mixon. Or not so much. I have 3 shares in your leagues. I've been trying to trade for Chase Browns. Like I'm offering like 3rd rounds like for next year with a player now. And like, you know, and I'm getting declined. I'm like, this motherfucker don't even have Joe Mixon. Now I'm about to switch off to like trying to trade them Joe Mixon next. You know what I mean?
Well, I guess it's kind of tough because if people got Brown for a 3rd round this year, I feel like I'd want more. And I feel like he was going in the 3rd round in a lot of our drafts.
That's a good point.
But it really depends. Like,
you haven't seen my offers though.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know the offer.
Yeah. You know me. I'll make it look good because they got needs. A lot of it's easy to find these guys' needs because people are short on one side or the other. A lot of times.
Send me your trades in the 7. Okay.
Oh, my trades in the 7 have been horrendous in my opinion. In hindsight.
Oh, I know, and I think he's saying send him trades.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's the one I made that monster trade with. I kind of regret.
Which one? What trade you guys make?
I sent them like it was like a Burrow Chase stack with next year's first, and I brought back like Nick Bolton, Justin Herbert, Tua, Mike Williams, fucking Aziz Ojolari, Rishi Grant. So I got like a haul, but it was like, but I had hella needs.
But you gave up Burrow and Chase.
I gave up Burrow and Chase, and that's really like I would rather thugged it out with like because my thing was I only had Burrow. My QBs were Burrow, Brady, Lamb.
Burrow, Chase, and the first. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like Burrow, Burrow, Brady,
and Herbert. Like I like that. I mean, you know, you're getting.
But you know, Tua's like reckless too, though. Like as far as dynasty goes, you know what I mean. I don't feel comfortable having Tua and Lance, and I had to go and trade for Brock just to lock that whole thing down as much. And then I don't even have Darnold. I'm like, fuck, do I have it all? Like you know what I mean? Like you know, I might just have Burrow. That's how I was viewing it. So I'm like, all right.
Yeah, Marty said, "Damn, that's a big boy trade." Yeah, for sure. Crazy how I forgot about that. We've got so many trades.
I mean, that's just normal shit I would do. You know what I mean? Like, I'm at the point too where, like, as long as I feel like my team can compete, I'm willing to diversify for the fun of it. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't have any Herbert until that trade, and I had a ton of Burrows, and I could care for Tua, but I care less for Tua, but yeah, fuck the tuna fish, really. But you know what I mean? Like, it was just like I'm diversified, and I'm in so many these leagues that I didn't mind moving that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I got plenty of Chase. I have another Chase Burrow. You know what I mean? Like, if I looked at it that aspect, like one of the drafts we're in right now, I took Hurts 3rd overall. Normally, I would take Allen. You know what I mean? Because Allen, I feel like I don't have to depend solely on his rushing at all. It's more so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In this format, I favor that. But I'm like, you know what? Let's take Hurts. Have fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I need to get a running back. That's what I'm on the lookout for right now. It's a running back.
In 7?
Yeah.
What
said Tua's beefing up, said gain some weight. I mean, he better. I mean, even gaining weight, though, I mean, yeah,
you can't eating a bunch of tuna?
We can't really gain weight in your head, right? And that's like his problem, taking hits to the head. But, yeah, their offensive line just needs to protect him a little better.
I don't know. He's just one of those guys too. It's like he's hella fragile. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember in college too, you get beat up. I mean, but it is a quick out offense. Everything's everything's designed to make him look good. So as long as he stays upright, he's gonna be all right. You know what I mean? Like it's one of the better offenses. You know, I mean, it's very concentrated. So if we have Waddle and or Hill, we're okay. You know what I'm saying? We're just, you know what I'm saying? These guys are top 24 guys. Or, I mean, top 24, top 12 guys. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
And that's insane, right? 2 top 12 guys in that same offense. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen it before, but I guess we didn't really expect it. And we saw,
tuna fish. Like,
we saw two guys who a lot of fantasy analysts said couldn't support 2 top like 24 guys or something, and they both like supported 2 top 12 guys.
It was that the tuna fish and Jalen Hurts?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, because where did Slim Reaper finish?
He finished
Browns top 12. Okay, let's go.
Injuries to bigger guys, you know, I mean, that could be the argument, you know, for him. Guys get hurt, but I mean that's how it is every year, though. Like, I mean, if someone plays 17 games, it's not super hard to finish inside the top 12 if you play all 17 games.
Yeah, I like the fact that we play in our format predominantly. You know, and everyone should. If you're playing super flex, make the QBs matter. Make it a QB premium, 1 point for every 15 passing yards. It's fucking tremendous difference. And you know what I'm saying? And you'll notice it. And like, I love these formats because it makes me not want to have these Russian QBs, because I've never been so mad as fuck whenever I have a Russian QB and they go down, bro. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, it's not.
You know what I mean? And it's redraft. You're like, oh.
It's not fun.
Oh. Hot as fuck. There goes my season. Especially if like you're like, you know, like last year in a couple of my redrafts, I had a combination of Herbert and Lance, and I'm thinking I'm the shit getting Lance in like a 3rd round of a super flex redrafts and shit. I'm like, you're feeling good. That's and I'm saying, that's how I knew it. I knew I don't fuck with them motherfuckers, bro. I knew it. Like, even Jalen Hurts, like, I had Jalen Hurts as QB8 2 years ago, and then he finished QB8, right?
Yeah.
I didn't really have him because I was like, man, I don't want to depend on this Russian QB. He's going to die on me. You know what I mean? Everybody had Lamar. Still, every year, you still got to pull him up high because you know what Lamar could be. But it's like, if Lamar goes down, you're like, oh, fuck, I know it. But see, I'm a pussy, though, when it comes to that shit. That's why I love the format. Now I don't need to depend on the advantage of a Russian QB. I could look at these 4,500-yard passers and be like, hell yeah, we in this thing. And if I get 2 of them, if I get 2 of those motherfuckers, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I got a lot of Dak. Trevor Lawrence teams. I got some Dak Russ teams. It sounds ugly, but like, yo, these 2 guys, if they could both be 4,500-yard passers, we in this thing.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, let's get up out of here. We'll be back for FNT, and then we're going to do a rookie draft with IDP tonight. And yeah, 'cause there's not too many of those floating around on the internet. So we got to get one going at least every couple weeks. So yeah, we'll get back into that. And yeah, we'll see you guys a little later. Peace out.
Peace.
Defense on me.
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night. If they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm going to take every last one of you out. You make sure they remember forever the night they played the Titans.